I'm sure they themselves cannot remember who their economic management team was. Kukrudu, fellow Kukrudites, we were elected to fix the problems, and I'm glad to report that we are fixing the problems and we are putting in place the policies that will drive the economic transformation of this country. It is very clear that the economy is beginning to respond to the policies of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo.
Of Cape Coast, I have good news for you. We are building a new harbor in Cape Coast and a new airport in Cape Coast. It is very critical that we do that. An airport makes a lot of sense in Cape Coast. It's a real tourist hub, and between Greater Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast, you have a triangle that really is a lot of hub of economic activity. You can build railway lines between them, and it's a major growth pole if we put an airport here to drive infrastructure growth. Of course, we are going to...
The city has appreciated in value. When we came in, it was running. Essentially, we have arrested it. and the IGP has the key. She's locked it up. We've arrested it.
How can government be seeking to contract this magnitude of non-concessional loans at this time when it does not have enough cash to meet statutory payments? This is like an alcoholic who has just been convinced to enter rehab, and just a few days before rehab asks for a carton of whiskey. Can this person be trusted to keep or to stay with the rehab program? Undertaking this additional borrow would mean that the anchor is not likely to hold, and it would compromise the objective of fiscal consolidation and debt sustainability. Given Ghana's economic situation, this bailout program will require a commitment to fiscal discipline that will test the resolve of any government in any developing country, such as ours. And it is important that the government understands what it has signed up for. We should all be prepared for some painful adjustments. To give legal backing to the process of fiscal consolidation, the government is likely to be required by the IMF to pass a fiscal responsibility law. A fiscal responsibility law will require governments to declare and commit to a fiscal policy that can be monitored. It includes rules and provisions for transparency and sanctions. Mr. Chairman, in my lecture last year and earlier in November 2013, when I delivered the Aliyu Muhammad Memorial Lecture, I offered the same piece of advice to government, but the Minister of Finance responded that it was not necessary. Today, because it is the IMF offering the solution, the government response is that it is very necessary. Mr. Chairman, to prevent the runaway printing of money by the central bank to finance the large deficits of government, the IMF is requiring that Bank of Ghana reduces its lending to government to zero by 2016. Zero. This means that in 2016, Bank of Ghana would not be allowed to lend even a peso to the government. During my lecture last year, I offered similar advice. I cautioned that the printing of money was too much. The bank responded that it wasn't the case. But today the IMF is offering the same solution, and they agree with it. Bless you. As the IMF has stated, government would be required to remove all subsidies on utilities and petroleum products. This will require, obviously, will cause a lot of hardships. The removal of subsidies will also mean a strict implementation of the automatic price adjustment formula for utilities and petroleum. I would like to urge the government to publish all the elements of the automatic price formula so that we can all monitor.
As a result of the lack of policy credibility, Ghana is now having to borrow at very high interest rates on the Eurobond market, and it's amongst the highest in the world. And this is not only affecting government, it's also affecting the interest rates that the private sector is able to raise on the international market. Figure 15. The next figure shows that when Ghana issued its first Eurobond under the NPP government in 2007, the spread, which is the difference between the interest rate on the Eurobond and US Treasuries of similar tenor, when we issued that first Eurobond, the spread was only 3.7%. This spread is really the premium that investors demand over and above prevailing interbank interest rates. It is really a measure of a borrower's risk. The lower the number for the premium paid, the higher the credit readiness of the borrower and vice versa. The second and third bonds were issued under the NDC in 2013 and 2014 at higher spreads of 5.47% and 5.72% respectively. Ironically, our credit worthiness has been decreasing since we became an oil exporting country. In 2015, notwithstanding a World Bank guarantee, the spread was the highest so far at 8.34%. Clearly, confidence in the management of our economy has eroded in the eyes of the international investor community as the years have gone by under the NDC's economic management. It comes therefore as no surprise that our fifth Eurobond, which was rejected by the market when the government tried to borrow for 10 years. Today, as we speak, contrary to its stated objectives, government of borrowing long term, the government has been telling us, the minister has been telling us they are trying to shift the yield curve to the longer end of the market and they are borrowing long term, right? Today, as we speak, contrary to its stated objectives of borrowing long term, the government is now being forced by the market to borrow short to medium terms for 5 years against the stated objective. So today, Ghana has issued a bond in the London markets for $750 million for a 5-year tenor at a price of over 9%. And so the spread, again, for the 5-year tenor is about 8%, which is so high. It's very expensive money. When we just got out of HIPC, we borrowed for 10 years at 8.5%. Now, after being an oil-producing country for 5 years, middle-income country, we now can only borrow at 5 years, but now for over 9%. Did we come or did we go? What we know is that Ghana attracted the highest interest rates on its borrowings amongst its peers in sub-Saharan Africa. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the price we are paying for mismanagement and incompetence under this NDC government. If you look at this, you will see that Ghana, amongst its peers, has the highest spreads. It's the highest spreads. The question that you have to ask is, how can global phenomena skip Cote d'Ivoire and all the surrounding countries and only attack Ghana? How? How? The question that you have to ask is, how can global phenomena skip Cote d'Ivoire and all the surrounding countries and only attack Ghana? How? How? How does it happen?
he'll bring it to bear. We are vice president. You head the economic management committee of the country. Into economic policies now will be driven by you, and also it will be directed by you. Into I know say he's competent in that area. He's got the focus. He's got the mindset. He's got the experience in macroeconomics, and even as a general academician oni mejuma ejuma ne ye ena onoso ewo adwempa ne akomapa eni nyan.
I would want all of us here to, and on behalf of my colleagues, say a very big thank you to the type of leadership the EMT has enjoyed from Dr. Bawumia. A chairman who is so involved in the work of he works like a member, like a secretary. It's sterling quality, professionally excellent. So we are where we are because Dr. Bawumia is putting up a very professional chairmanship to the EMT. And I pray that we continue to work together as a team.
See toilets, Amamu. Yeah, but see toilets. In all, yeah, but see 8-unit toilets, 4 8-unit toilets, 32 toilets in all.
They take your IC. This government, they put delivery trackers, also toilet. Toilet with district assembly, them work. Why national government, they tell people waiting you do, then toilet in the district assembly. That one we know the counter.
Mubehu Nyamiadum said petrol board beba form. Mubehu Nyamiadum said the transport fares so beba form. Na niema bo so beba form because of new policies are yedeba. Nyamiadum Mr. Obia nya aboteri because we are going to implement something different, something new, and a depreciation of the currency and also abba form. This particular period. You will recall that I stated in 2014 that if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. That was true then. That was true then, and it is true now. It is 100% correct. So if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. But it is warped logic to jump from that to a conclusion that if there is depreciation in your currency, then the fundamentals must be weak. Do you understand the logic? It is very warped logic. If the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. But if the exchange rate moves, you cannot jump to that conclusion that the fundamentals are weak. That defies logic. That defies logic. There could be other external factors causing the exchange rate depreciation. For example, if I tell you that if your leg is broken, you are going to be unable to walk. Then I'm somewhere and somebody comes to tell me, this person is unable to walk. Can I just conclude that their leg must be broken? There can be other reasons why you are unable to walk. But the NDC logic will insist, in the face of contrary evidence, that since you cannot walk, then it must mean your leg must be broken. In 2014, the exchange rate depreciated by 31.3%. The fiscal deficit...
Don't confuse and confuse others. Don't confuse and confuse others.
I'm grateful to you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the Honorable Minister for Energy statement. Mr. Speaker, it is important to put this disaster in perspective. According to NADMO, Mr. Speaker, I have the NADMO records here, as at 24th October 2023. In my constituency, which is the epicenter of this disaster, NADMO reports that 12,633 people have been displaced. 12,633 people have been displaced. According to NADMO, 1,556 houses have been destroyed. 69 communities flooded, submerged in North Tongue. Persons living with disability, 273 of them affected. 53 schools destroyed, according to NADMO. And Mr. Speaker, this has led to 21 displaced camps. I have consciously refused to use the terminology safe haven, because if you go to those displaced camps, it cannot be a haven, and there's nothing safe about it. Imagine losing everything you have worked for your entire life. Your entire life. And you are thrown into a congested classroom. As we speak, Mr. Speaker, 5 weeks, and people are living in classrooms. Classrooms without washrooms, without toilets, without kitchens, no beds, and they call them safe havens. They find a nice terminology so they can paper over the real issues. Mr. Speaker, this is a house of records. There are two things the Honorable Minister has said, which this House must not allow to go unchallenged per our records. We are told that before VRA officials spilled, members of parliament were consulted, were part of the stakeholders consulted. I can speak for myself. I was never invited to any meeting. I was never consulted. I was never invited to any meeting. I challenge the minister to provide one name, one member of parliament who was consulted, who attended any meeting regarding this village. In the affected areas, my colleagues are here. Not a single member of parliament. Not one. Look, we have had enough. We are down. We are traumatized. We have lost everything. The last thing we will countenance are blatant falsehoods. We will not accept it. Another falsehood is that VRA is sharing relief items and that members of parliament have received their share. When? Which member of parliament has received shares of relief items? And such a dangerous statement for our constituents to now come after us.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied. that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Friday, the 10th day of November 2023. By His grace, we're live and we're here with yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into a panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. 2 power pacts to generate 750 megawatts. Energy Minister. Okay. We want to show up our power generation by 720 megawatts. I see. Ghanaian Times. Election 2024. Race for Jubilee House. JM, VIP, Alan Spore voters with choice. Government approves 4 million cedis to settle kidney treatment debt at Korle Bu. Shame. A very big shame to all of you. Very big shame. Government signs 2 new 720 megawatts power purchase agreements. Energy Minister. Minor jailed 15 years for robbing man of mobile phone. Daily Guide. Bawumia storms Ken's house. Ghana, Czech Republic strike new court. Questing trial not political agenda witness. 4 million cedis approved to clear Korle Bu Teaching Hospital dialysis debt. Kwapa Koko elects national officers. New Weekend Crusading Guide. Bawumia Mahama 2024 battle for presidency. Technocrat VIP better placed to resuscitate economy than populist former president. EU reporter. Morale low in Garu. Police officers over attacks. WAEC 2023 BEC results out. Nana Akufo-Addo scolds Sam George over religious effusions. You've really overwhelmed us with this. Nzima youth praise Nana Akwanzi Abraba the fourth for fixing Cape 3 Points breach. PK Amoabin's Scholars Program inaugurated. The Insight. Economist Dr. Ishmael Yamson. Akufo-Addo is a failure. Ishmael Yamson tackles president over corruption. Tamale Teaching Hospital suffering. Appeals for mammogram to tackle breast cancer cases. 2024 elections will be a hard nut to crack. Samia Uku. Over 1 million Momo accounts were inactive after e-levy implementation. It's a report. Amid global outcry, Israel targets aid supply in Gaza, dismisses ceasefire calls. The Informer. Pando comes alive. As PASEC marks 70 years. Justices Doche, Wenyanuga, Professor Voke, Honorable Amenowode, Professor Binka, First Kaibos, Informers, and the Kankam and others gear up for roll call. Okay, it's going to be a big event this weekend at Pando. Yes, we'll all be there. Allies of PASEC. Election 2024. EU prioritizes stability. Will it be Bawumia or Mahama? Dam spillage. Via reaction necessary. Energy Minister. Zongo Group condemns Sam George over several comments against Vice President. Commentary. Sam George's diarrhea mouth spits on Muslims and drags Rawlings's NDC into messy dark pit. At long last, kidney patients sigh relief over reopening of Korle Bu renal unit. The Herald. 2024 general elections assume religious bigotry. Christian Council warns against division. Police hide $270,000 fraud docket, leaves victim frustrated. NPP polling station executives applaud Bawumia's aid for securing him victory in Western North. Said Wagongo's Litovit fertilizer gave Ghana record yield. Ex-Cocoa Board executive tells court. The Daily Statesman. Czech Prime Minister confers with Bawumia. Europorter. Mohammed's position on Ghana's economy wayward. Government approves 4 million cedis to clear Kolebu Renal Unit's debt. Government makes strides in power distribution. The Ghanaian Observer. Bawumia's initiatives critical for Ghana's economic recovery. EU Reporter. Ghana grabs 102.59 million AFDB grant for budget support. Government okays 4 million cedis to clear Kolebu Renal Unit's debt. Akomia cautions Sam George, stop inciting Muslims. Vice President Bawumia woos Czech investors, says Ghana is the right place for investment. Daily Post. Bawumia begs imams to visit and congratulate him. Government untruthful about La General Hospital redevelopment project, Akando. Mepe Development Association blasts Napo over we will spill again. Comments on Akosombo Dam spillage. Government has not been honest about energy sector challenges. Edward Bauer. And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She is pleased, but now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains that he hired a security guard to protect the data shed. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't upgraded to cloud storage yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting? For your kids' enjoyment?
Angel Cola!
For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola!
Beach hangout?
Angel Cola!
For all your refreshing moments?
Angel Cola!
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola.
Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you.
Thank you.
Enjoyment Cola.
Angel Cola.
The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias.
It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we use Kel 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Kel 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim Jom Kasan. Kile Hossein. Kel 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
And you will see so feeling when you know Kel 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Discover the perfect blend of quality, modern elegance, and affordability with Kingdom Home Real Estate. At Kingdom Home Real Estate, we cater to both local and international clients, offering exceptional housing options in Ebri and Ekropong. Our properties are conveniently located, providing a tranquil atmosphere, top-notch security, and essential amenities such as electricity, water, and backup generators. Our strategic locations offer easy access to popular tourist destinations, all within a 30-minute drive from Accra. Visit us in Ekropon right after the Latte Junction, or in Ebri near the Ebri Girls Senior High School. Alternatively, you can reach us at Accra office on 0559 671 144, Akropon office on 0555 621 611. Kingdom Home Real Estate, where your dream home becomes a reality.
inside Black Star Press Limited. Grow inside the invective minds, evolving concepts, and the creative trends. The printing press you need now. Witness the beauty, diversity, and natural wonder with our works. Inside Black Star Press Limited, in association with Lionhead Group of Companies. Call us now on 0200-880-000 for all your print works. Black Star Press Limited, a worldwide reputation for quality printing.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say, but as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
Everybody knows Acrobato, and if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chesena me ankasa me period no say problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chesena nya asam ketewa na me coin point no mo hwe me modem no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra mienu kofo kwa na mkwan mu a eba and everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama nunu a ene ne ho eden a watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you of Acrobato. Hello hey ohwehwe what che okay a free bra wo di end point what dance am me call you no me just say man enkoyie e person na my nyina na magina sebema na me be fie for there e ho na nyina jaresa. You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
Baba wuku be no mo customer na wacha na da be na mi twa ma twa papa me twa 10 Ghana 10 Ghana cedis na no dia say na obenya 10 Ghana cedis no me dia maybe 54,000 Ghana cedis 54,000 540 million here we are the one na me twa me die skase yeah and then agiga dey tena we aboki draw no na sase no we mami mi volume customer Wadi one of our daily lucky winners. Dial *946# to play now. Or you can also play online at www.gamepackgames.com. Game Park is regulated by the National Lottery Authority.
My son, there's more blessing in giving than receiving. When you fear for and Kobo the makers in
The pneumatological abrasion of the Lord revealed unto me this night that me and my household should go out into the world and bless the world.
Makers Electronics Company Limited. Up to 67% discount. Our selected appliances.
This is what I call quintessential immaculatability.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited. Taifa Burkina Highway. Amasama Zongo Junction. K Pharmacy Dining. Oyer Fateman Boga Junction. Ashaman Valco Flat. Kumasi. Ahinema Kokobin. Asafubuachi Hospital Junction. Sakradi. Kuma. Number 9 Market.
Tell mom and dad about the Makers Blessing Attack program.
From 0552 222 253 and 0552 222 254. Terms and conditions apply. The same got to moon.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. With me on the show this morning, I have Nana Akumia, who is the Managing Director of STC. Nana, good morning.
Morning, Randy.
Also with me on the show this morning is Felix Pachi Ofosu, who is the NDC's candidate for the AK constituency. And he's also a former Deputy Minister of Communications. Felix, good morning.
Good morning. And it's important to emphasize the parliamentary candidacy for the AAK constituency, because my folks were beginning to take exception that you don't mention that often enough. And that
I see.
Exactly. So I was going to remind you just in case you skipped the battle. Okay. I'm sure once you remember it resolves the problem.
Okay. Why is that?
So, well, you are not.
He represents them.
Exactly.
No, it's not their MP.
I'm talking about the.
It's a parliamentary candidate.
Yes, that is true. But NDC folks and well-wishers in the constituency insist that.
I'm saying, why are they upset?
It means that he's depriving them of the opportunity to have their candidates properly introduced, according to them. Yes. Exactly.
You're surprised?
Yes.
You're surprised?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you've been out of touch for some time. After you left to
I'll tell you one that will. I'll tell you one that probably will shock you.
Oh, I've received messages and I can show them to you.
So, this young banker, young friend of mine, had a problem at the bank. You know what the problem was? Printing checkbooks and a member of parliament. You know, they put your name there. So maybe like your checkbook, you have Nana Akumia, your name written there. And they printed a checkbook for the MP. And they put the MP's name there.
They left out the honorable.
Nana Akumia left out the honorable.
Hey, it was a major issue.
It was a major issue. I had to go and apologize. They recorded.
I'm sure it's an NDC MP.
You see, I didn't want to. Okay, I'll give you just one clue. It's a female MP.
It's an NDC MP.
No. That's apologize. Recall the checkbook and do the new one with the honorable on it.
HON.
Yes. HON and then the dot. So if AAK people are upset with me, it's understandable.
I see.
The campaign has started.
Anyway, brushing your kids' teeth sometimes becomes difficult due to resistance because a taste of toothpaste available to them. Use Kel Kids toothpaste flavor with strawberry. That gives a perfect taste for kids and makes them develop a personal attitude and love of brushing their teeth always. Kel Kids toothpaste protects child's gum, prevents cavities, and makes the teeth strong and healthy with freshness all day. Kel Kids toothpaste is recommended for children between 2 and 6 years. It's a product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso, and is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel Kids, happy smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing stairs when not exercising could be challenging for all ages, but worry no more. Lift and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumono, or just call them on 0200535515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movements. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you do, wherever you go, drink Angel Cola, your key to enjoyment. Ready for something refreshing, great tasting with excellent flavors? Unia, you've got varieties to choose from. Angel Orange for that special occasion, Angel Mango, Angel Peach, refresh your mood, Angel Apple Lime. Angel Drinks produce vitality and maintain fluid in normal balance. Angel Drinks, refreshing, invigorating, and exciting. Angel Drinks are produced by Adomco Soft Drinks Beverages Limited. Angel Drinks taste like our day and is recommended for including children. You can reach them on 0244 832286 or 0507878668. Okay, now, if you're looking for some real estate up the hill, you know, it's beautiful. I mean, the view, the weather, and everything I'm speaking about there, Equapim Reach. Well, if you're looking for a property, the hassle-free property, then you need to speak with Kingdom Home Real Estate. They provide quality but affordable housing facilities for sale. Their facilities are located at a serene environment of Equapim, Ekropo, and Ebri with the best weather conditions. They're 30 minutes drive from Accra and provide modern touch of comfort. They provide a high standard security service plus CCTV, standby generators, constant water supply, and electricity. Kingdom Home Real Estate are surrounded by lovely tourist sites such as the Ebri Botanical Garden, Booty Falls, Safari Valley Resort, etc. Pay 70% upfront and spread the rest within 2 years with no interest. You can locate Kingdom Home Real Estate at Ebri, close to Ebri Girls SHS, and a coupon right after Latte Junction. Call Kingdom Home Real Estate on 0559 761144 or 055 5621611. You can visit them at www.kingdomhomerealestate.com and also their Facebook page. Right. Nana?
Yeah.
It's been 6 days.
After the showdown.
Yeah. What's going on? The aftermath of the showdown and the showdown itself.
Well, on Saturday, the primaries went on smoothly. We didn't have any reports of major difficulties, and that's credit to the party, the NPP party, the delegates, and the Electoral Commission, and the Ghana Police for the peaceful and smooth conduct. As expected, Dr. Bawumia won convincingly with 61%. We were expecting a higher margin of about 70, because we were expecting that the results will reflect the results of the first one, the super delegates, which was about 70. But we didn't get that. We got 61, a little above 61. We're very happy with the win. We've expected it. We also, it's interesting the votes that my brother Kennedy Ajipon got, I think about 37%. But we had expected that he wasn't going to get more than 25. And so for him to get 37, that's a significant showing by him. I am happy that after the elections, the event that the party organized for the formal declaration of the results, at that event, all the losing aspirants, the three of them, all accepted the results or praised the conduct of the elections, and all of them pledged to rally behind the winner, Dr. Bawumia. So it was a great day for the party, a great day for Dr. Bawumia. And the last 1 week, his team and he himself have been taking it easy. The campaign is quite grueling, going to 275 constituencies across the country over a 3 or 4 month period. It's not easy. I went with him to some of the Greater Accra constituencies, and then I was in the Western region, Western North, and also Central region, and a bit of the Eastern region too, and also in Volta region. And Randy, I can tell you, it is very grueling. Speaking to, and because the time wasn't enough, the Bamia team had to pack in 4 constituencies a day. And so you go to the first constituency about 9, 10, and then you travel to the next one. And depending on the distance, you would finish at about 11 p.m. And some of the distances are really big, 30 kilometers, 50 kilometers, between one center and the next center. They were really grueling. And it's been done. And so everybody took it easy, has taken it easy in the last 1 week. Now we are waiting for the budget, which we expect to happen next week, the budget reading in Parliament. And after that, the campaign will swing into full operation.
All right, there's a jostling for running mates. The papers have been reporting. Yesterday, they reported an altercation between supporters of Dr. Opoku Prempeh, popularly known as NAPO, and supporters of Dr. the Education Minister, the Honorable Duchum, Dr. Duchum. Okay. And he had even started earlier by an accusation against a minister who they say is from Ashanti, who they believe is lying to people in the diaspora over this running mate issue. There's some analysts who are also saying that Bawumia must choose somebody from Central or Eastern region, or Central or Western region, rather. I also saw an interesting one, a song composed for the Chief of Staff, Madam Frema Parry. The song has been composed with her images and all that. What's making you smile?
You mean there was a clash between 2 groups of supporters?
A paper reported that.
Which paper?
Yesterday. I get it. One of the pro-MPP papers.
They actually had a clash.
Yes, I think it was a verbal clash, not physical. Yes.
Well, well, it shows that there's a lot of excitement about the.
And not to forget, I mean, your name also came up on social media.
There is a lot of excitement. I mean, hey, if he chooses me,
yes,
victory is totally assured. But
please repeat that.
But the choice.
No, please repeat that.
The choice is
his.
If
he chooses you,
the victory is totally assured.
Okay.
Yeah, but the choice is his.
Okay.
And it will be sad if the running mate position degenerates into a public quarrel. I mean, who's an aspirant for a running mate?
People lobby.
Yes. So there's nothing like there's this group of people, 5 people or 6 people. The conventional wisdom in the party is that it would be good if the running mate came from Ashanti region, being our biggest stronghold.
But you are not from Ashanti.
I'm not talking for myself.
No, I'm saying that to the extent that you believe that when you are picked, it will be cool chop.
It doesn't mean that if other people are picked. I'm just talking for myself because you asked me. But it doesn't mean that if other people are picked, the victory will not be delivered.
In fact, if you really check, like you politicians do, you will find some Ashanti roots of yours.
So my interest is that we have to do all we can. And I suspect either the party itself or Dr. Bawumia himself should calm the waters. It is good to lobby.
How will you do that? How
You can issue a statement, you can ask people to be calm, and that you don't want a public spectacle. Yesterday, two people came to my office to talk to me about another person. Oh yeah. It's fine if you believe that.
They didn't come to lobby for you.
No.
They came to lobby for.
That's why I'm surprised you say. That's why I'm surprised you say, because I haven't. But then they came to me and to lobby for somebody. Okay. And they spent about half an hour telling me about the virtues of that person. It's good.
Person is from Ashanti?
Not quite.
Region? Not quite?
Not quite, yeah. Not quite.
Okay. Not quite means
so,
not. Okay.
Sorry?
Not quite means not.
Well, like you said, you can always, retrace all kinds of routes ahead. And so I expect, because when they came, they also tried to do
establish an Ashanti link.
But that is fine. If I am minded, I would also speak to people. But we should be very careful that it doesn't become a public spectacle. That's why I'm shocked when you said there's actually a clash
they got me there.
Between two groups of supporters. I mean, we've just finished a beautiful flag bearer race. We don't need a running mate race also playing out in the media and everybody having their serial callers and it would degenerate into attacking each other and running down each other. We don't need that. And if, like you are saying, it's beginning to have public altercations, something has to be done about it quickly so people will calm down. What you have to do now is to lobby the flag bearer and people that you think can put in a word for it. That is allowed. That is allowed. But we should be careful that it doesn't become another parallel.
Now, one of the papers reports of a surprise visit to Honorable Ken Agyapong's residence by Dr. Bawumia. Yes, and Daily Guide. The Bawumia storms, I don't know how he did that. He storms Ken's house. I don't know if he broke the gate or
no. You have to add a bit of drama. If you wrote that Bawumia visits Ken, it might not.
So he stormed the house. He stormed Mamudu. Was at Ken's house. Really, from the results of the election, the first person I heard speak about an integral and important role for Ken was the former chairman of your party, the Cocoa Board chairman.
Mark Menu.
He said that Ken had demonstrated that he had a grassroots and therefore he, by virtue of the results, he needed to play a key role and be given an important role as far as the prosecution of the campaign is concerned. This issue of running mate, his name has come up. I've heard issues about campaign manager. We're told that, I've just referred to the newspaper about the storming of his residence and all that. We've also had some of his supporters quite aggrieved as to how he was mistreated. Some issues of the campaign has come up. More especially, at least one of them that we heard, who's a spokesperson of Ken, has raised issues about the treatment on the days, that day at the stadium, the playing of that song and he being asked to dance and the fact that they believe he was being mocked, and they took on Nana B for what they believe was a very provocative and infantile conduct there and all that. How are you dealing with the issue of a person who has about 40% by virtue of the results, and who perhaps, if anybody thought that he was just a rabble rouser or a noise maker, I mean, the data perhaps suggests otherwise. How are you dealing with that issue?
Well, it is, I must commend Dr. Bawumia for taking the step to visit the other aspirants, and starting with Ken. I must commend him for that effort so early in the day. It's been a tradition that when you win such a major election, you would go formally to the houses or offices of your contestants and show leadership by consoling them and asking them to come on board. Even at our small parliamentary level, every time. I had 2 primaries. The first primary that I won in 1996, I went to the homes of not just my main contestant for the primary, but his key supporters. I went to the homes, his organizers and all of that. I went to the homes of all of them to ask them to come on board. I did the same when I won the second primary. The second primary was against Jomia.
Yes, Mr. George Mayer.
George Mayer. I think he was your Accra Academy.
Yeah.
So I went to his house, and I went to his key, and then in his case, he even took me to his key supporters to show that he's on board. Of course, the third one, the fourth one, was unopposed.
He's just been appointed a King's Magistrate in the UK.
Yeah, he's been in the UK for a long time. After, I think, right after 2000 elections, when he didn't succeed in the primaries, he worked at the regional level for about a year or so. Then the last thing I heard, he had gone abroad. So it is normal to do that, and the earlier you do that, the better. And certainly, Bawumia is not going to stop at Kent. He's going to go to the homes of as many of them as he can. Even from the Frimpong Boateins, I'm sure he would go to their homes. And
why did you say the Frimpong Boateins?
Oh, because Frimpong Boateins made comments that have got people really upset, and even against Bawumia himself, totally gratuitous in my view. But Bawumia, I'm sure, would go to all those people, elders of the party, Kwame Pienim, I'm sure he would do all of that. Bygones will be bygones, and then come on board. So it's a good thing that is done. Now, Kennedy Agyapong himself, and as well as the Afriye Akoto, and then yeah, they were all generous in their concession speeches, and all of them pledging their support for the campaign. So I'm sure Bawumia will discuss with them what roles they would like to play in the campaign. If you remember, in 2008, when Akufo-Addo first emerged, many of his contestants, after he had consulted them, gave them key roles in the campaign. I remember Atta Kennedy, for example, became the communications director for the Akufo-Addo campaign in 2008, and I think Kunedu Apreku became the campaign manager in 2008, and Boakye Agyakong also became a key member of the campaign. Some of them chaired manifesto committees and so on. So it's normal, and I'm happy that Bawumia has embarked on it. I've heard some statements made by people who I understand were key members of Kennedy Agyapong's team, and some of them are quite disappointing, because the way Ken himself, the posture of Kennedy Agyapong himself after the election, what some of these people who've been described as spokespersons and so on, what they are saying doesn't gel with what Ken himself has said, and I find that a bit, you need to follow your leader. So when Ken himself is accepting the results and congratulating or talking about how ready he is, you cannot be somewhere and also be talking at cross purposes. And this business about Ken being mistreated, I don't understand it. They said also music was played. There's this popular High Life song that has
Obia on the Master.
Obia on the Master.
Kennedy Japan on the Master.
And they thought it wasn't appropriate.
Yeah, that it was, although it is a favorite song of his, for the occasion and everything, it was to mock him. And especially when the thing was, it was played when he was called to come and speak. That's when that particular song was played. And then Nana B kept saying, Honorable Sa, dear Sa.
And Osai?
No, he didn't. He ignored. He just kept waving at the people. He ignored it.
Okay. But I've seen footage of Kennedy dancing vigorously.
Oh, yeah.
To that,
both on the beat and off the beat.
Did we have to go to the beat? He's a good dancer, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been to a few.
Break dancer.
I've been to a few parties with him, and he really gets down.
Up at time.
So it's obviously a favorite song. I find it hard to believe that the song, because really it's a popular song featuring Kennedy Agyapong.
The line is that Obia on the Master.
So
Kennedy Agyapong cry on the Master.
Yes. But he himself is a favorite song of his.
Yes.
Yes, and I've seen him dancing vigorously to it on a few occasions. So
on the occasion,
it could. I mean, I agree that it could be interpreted that way. I mean, I agree that on that occasion. So, but obviously, it cannot be the desire of the DJ or whoever. I would even be surprised if the organizers knew the DJ was going to play that song. Many times you go to functions and you are called to speak or something, and then they play some song that some of these DJs, they also want to show. So I think it's a bit far-fetched to say that it was deliberate to mistreat or humiliate Kennedy Agyapong. Why would anybody want to do that on that particular occasion? So the so-called spokespersons, they should take a cue from Kennedy's own posture and what he's been saying, and many of these things that they're saying. If other people too were to also complain about the treatment they also got, then where are we going? So they should be a bit restrained and take a cue from Ken. Now, like I said, those aspirants, Bawumia would discuss with them the roles that they would like to play, and if he's so minded, I'm sure he'll give them those roles to play. And so the discussion with Ken, I'm sure it will include what kind of role he'd like to play. And like I said, Akufo-Addo did the same. Alan Shermantin, who even left the party in 2008, when he came back, he was given a prominent role to play in the campaign. Konadu Apreku, Atta Kennedy, Boakye Agyakong, and so on. And I'm sure the same thing will happen.
Felix, let me bring you in before we deal with the issue of the religious angle. Okay. 3 newspapers have quoted Nana on the issue.
Okay. All right. But I'm sure I can deal with it as part of the submission, so that it's more easy going for us. Well, to be honest, I think that Bawumia secured an underwhelming victory. I mean, given the fact that he is vice president, the establishment is clearly behind him, and given the fact that his campaign is awash with cash, and at the very least, this is not conjecture. The delegates themselves told us that he gave them a minimum of 400 Ghana cedis. And if you do the multiplication, we are talking something close to 100 million Ghana cedis. Randy, at a time when government is struggling, and you basically shamed those in charge of the renal unit at Korle Bu. At a time when government is struggling.
Not those in charge of the unit.
I mean those who have responsibility for ensuring that it runs effectively. At a time when government is struggling to find 4 million Ghana cedis, the entire government of Ghana cannot find 4 million Ghana cedis to keep such a vital installation running, such that 19 people have died since May of this year because of disruptions in the operations of this important unit. The entire Ghanaian government cannot find 4 million. But an individual, a vice president, suddenly can have 100 million Ghana cedis for just internal primaries. And we are not talking about the entire presidential campaign, just the day of the primaries. That is if you discount other expenditure that has been incurred during his campaigns and travels around the country. I mean, Randy, I don't think that you need anybody to tell you what has been happening in the last 7 years in this government. If this kind of money can find its way into the hands of a vice president who we know does not have that personal financial muscle. At least there's no evidence of it. Yes, he's self-sufficient, he's a professional, he's worked for a number of years, so he's self-sufficient. But I doubt if he's a wealthy man. At least we don't have evidence of that. And yet he comes across 100 million Ghana cedis to share for delegates. It's a most distressing narrative when you consider it. But even in spite of the pumping into the elections of that amount of money, almost 40% of the MPP voter base rejected him. And that is a clear revolt against the performance of Bawumia himself and the government that he is part of. Because if Bawumia had performed well as a candidate, Randy, I'm sure MPP delegates would be more than happy to give him a ringing endorsement so that he leads them into the elections. Because the average MPP voter wants stability and continuity. But they do not have confidence in Bawumia's performance and do not think that if he is presented to the people of Ghana, he will be easy to sell and market based on his non-performance. And therefore, they opted for Kennedy Agyapong. And Randy, I maintain that Kennedy Agyapong's conduct over the years, forget about his anti-establishment posturing. That may be desirable in some circumstances. But we know the level of vulgarity, the incitement, his intemperance and all that. And there's a man who once asked Akans to attack Evers and Gans. And you know the outrage that it generated. And said pretty awful things. I'm sure there are many jurisdictions in this world where he will not be allowed near the flag reaction contest of a serious political party. For MPP delegates to find confidence in him as opposed to a vice president who is a mainstream politician speaks volumes about the loss of confidence in the performance of the government that Bawumia is a key and integral part of. It is a clear vote of no confidence in him. And it is not surprising, Randy, that there has been a manifest lack of confidence within the MPP itself and in the Bawumia campaign. Because you expect a certain level of excitement to be generated in the immediate aftermath of such a grueling contest. But it has not happened, Randy. It has not happened. And it's a sign that they themselves see that there's a pall, of disenchantment and discontent hanging over this country, over their performance. And I think that what it only portends for them is that the larger Ghanaian electorate is extremely unhappy about what has happened to this country the last 7 years. The suffering and pain and anguish that Bawumia particularly has brought upon this country. And I made a point that even though he was a leading candidate in the MPP race, he is their worst possible presidential candidate. And you see, Randy, just this week, evidence has emerged of the problems that he will have convincing Ghanaians that he has anything for them. Because of his economic mismanagement, Randy, the things that we used to take for granted in our economic arrangements, like securing the syndicated loan to purchase cocoa, right? It was something, in fact, it was the most reliable source of foreign exchange for us as a country. If all things fail, we are certain that minimum by October ending, we should get some $2 billion, $3 billion in the central bank office to show up our currency because of the syndicated loan, given our status as the producer of high quality cocoa beans. Our cocoa attracts a premium, right, because of its superior quality. But because of economic mismanagement and the atrocious public debt, which is getting close to 700 billion Ghana cedis as I speak to you, the 600 billion we speak about was at the end of last year, but now it's getting close to 700 billion. Right? Because of that, and the domestic debt exchange that has happened, lenders no longer have confidence in us. So, you know, those who normally would advance as this syndicated loan are asking for premiums that we cannot afford. So, government is in a quagmire. They've not been able to secure the regular cocoa syndicated loan. So, now what have they done? They've gone to the buyers of the cocoa directly to beg them to lend them $400 million. Because at least, as for them, they know that the cocoa beans will come at all cost. So, there is minimum risk there. But the banks who otherwise would have lent us, and some of the most high-profile banks in the world, who otherwise would have lent us this money freely, know that it is a high-risk activity to lend Ghana money. Why? And they have just cause. Even pensioners have been told that they cannot be paid their interest and principals that are falling due. Randy, the second one is that they entered an IMF program. And according to the arrangements, by 1st November, they should have received the second tranche of about $630 million. Randy, that money is extremely crucial for financing the budget that we'll be reading next week, Monday. But because they are unable to achieve agreement with external creditors in respect of the domestic debt exchange, Randy, they've not been able to meet the 1st November deadline, so that money has not come. Meanwhile, just this Monday, in about 4 or 5 days, they should read the budget, and that 600 million is a key component in terms of financing the budget, and yet they don't have access to it. Even the IMF program, after all the grueling conditionalities that we suffered, they are unable to meet. So just this week, a few days after he's been elected, evidence of the deleterious consequences of Bawumia's mismanagement of the economy has popped up. So how are you going to convince the people of Ghana when your own party supporters, at least almost 40% of them, do not trust Bawumia because they don't think that he has what it takes to manage the affairs of this country? How is he going to convince the Ghanaian electorate otherwise? Right, the other issue is that there's been a deathly silence on what proposals Bawumia has in terms of the way forward for Ghana. When President Mahama was campaigning for the NDC flag bearership slots, Randy, right from the get-go, in fact, it started even before he formally launched his campaign, he began to speak about critical policy alternatives that he believes will get us out of the mess that Bawumia has thrust us into. And Randy, I emphasize Bawumia because now it is beyond debate that he's the man in charge of the economy. Last week, I pulled evidence for you here, and Nana Akufo-Addo cannot dispute it. Randy, there's a video that I will furnish you with where Akufo-Addo states specifically that we in the NDC are mismanaging the economy. So he has gone to bring Bawumia to, among other things, inject strength into the Ghanaian economy. And as I say, Nana Akufo-Addo finds it funny. He's laughing.
No, we have that video.
Oh, in fact, you forget about that video.
The one that he spoke in Chi, right?
Yes, exactly. And you forget about that video. Let me give you a quote from Akufo-Addo, which Nana Akufo-Addo cannot dispute in terms of Bawumia's role in the management of the economy. This was 8 February 2018. Nana Akufo-Addo had gone to Parliament to present what is by far and away the most important speech that the president delivers every year. And this is a paragraph within that speech. I am glad to be able to report that the economic management team, under the stellar leadership of the strong, brilliant economist, Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia, has risen to the challenge, and the hard work is beginning to show positive results. Randy, President Akufo-Addo was so enamored of this paragraph that when he finished delivering the State of the Nation address, he tweeted it. So it's a matter of public record. Randy, only this week I was looking through my archives and I stumbled upon some pictures that I took of a billboard that had been erected in the middle of Accra, advertising a Bawumia-led town hall meeting for the economic management team. And indeed, you played a clip where he was doing a somersault, what we used to call acrobatics, over his claim that if the fundamentals of the economy are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
Yes.
It was at that town hall meeting that he made that ridiculous statement. And I'm sure that was the point that Ghanaians wrote him off, that he didn't really take us seriously. Right? It was at that same town hall meeting that he announced the 30% reduction in benchmark revenues, which were reversed within months because it was poorly thought through. It was a populist move that proved more detrimental to the interests of Ghana. So as for his leadership of the economic management team, it is never in dispute. There's nothing an Akomia and the consultants that Bawumia can do about it. It is cast in stone. It is ironclad. No wiggle room whatsoever. And these are the outcomes, Randy. We cannot even get syndicated loan because of how toxic our economy has become. How do you present such a man to lead us? But back to the point about Mahama's policy alternatives. So whereas President Mahama is freely speaking about policy alternatives during the internal NDC campaign, because NDC members are also Ghanaians, and even though it was an internal contest, there was a larger Ghanaian audience that was also listening and monitoring. So he spoke to them. Randy, this Tuesday, President Mahama was at the TUC headquarters to engage the TUC leadership on his program for the people of Ghana. Randy, he reiterated the things he has been saying. That number one on the agenda is economic stability. The mess that Bawumia has created needs to be cleaned up. And how did he propose to do it? He says that our biggest problem, which is borrowing, he will slap a moratorium on borrowing. It is only concessional borrowing. That is money that comes very cheaply or is almost free, and grants that he would permit to come into Ghana. He committed himself to zero central bank financing. He spoke about stopping the reckless collateralization of statutory funds and the capping arrangement that Bawumia has introduced, which has created more difficulty for the Ghanaian economy. He spoke about boosting exports. He spoke about competitive advantage in the production of cashew, shea butter, and other cash crops, which when developed will stand us in good stead to become self-sufficient in terms of food production, and then look at the export market. Randy, he also spoke about cutting out waste. That you can be certain that under President Mahama, he will not pump $110 million into digging a completely useless hole in the middle of Accra in the name of building a cathedral. You can be certain that he will not rent ultra expensive aircraft for 36 million Ghana cedis just to fly around the world. He spoke about cutting out waste. Randy, he spoke about putting in place.
Bawumia rented aircraft.
Bawumia was did that. Bawumia has expressed any opposition to that. I'm sure he when we look closely into his travels, we will find rented aircraft there.
You find what?
Rented aircraft. It's possible. Randy, we have a chairman in AAK. He's at a branch called Ahunfi. You know, he is the equivalent of ABF Hussein in AAK. He has a saying. He says, "Den chairman no Paul, never so no Paul." And that is critical enough. If Akufo-Addo is doing it, you can be certain that Bawumia is doing it. He does not have the spine to stand up to Akufo-Addo and protest. Randy, look, Corwin Kensinaka was vice president in this country. Randy, we all know the history, don't we? When he disagreed with Almighty Rawlings, he made his voice known. Randy, he was even prepared to go toe-to-toe with the man. You know the history, don't you? Bawumia is completely spineless in that regard. He cannot stand up to Akufo-Addo. In fact, he believes, and I will demonstrate this shortly, in the same corruption and nepotism, mismanagement that Akufo-Addo believes in. But let me finish President Mahama's alternatives, and I'll come straightly to that. Randy, President Mahama has spoken about putting in place a lean government. In fact, he has been very specific that he will have just around 60 ministers. He spoke about cutting down the number of ministries. This splitting of the transport ministry into railways, aviation, maritime, and what have you that they've done. It's a complete waste of resources. And President Mahama has a track record. In his day, the late Jifa Ativo and Joyce Bawa were in charge of the transport ministry. We did monumental work. They built new airport terminals. Right? They were the brains behind the Tema to Mpakadan rail project, which President Akufo-Addo inherited. Before then, they did the Kojo-Krom Sekendi Takrade rail project, a 17-kilometer rail project with brand new terminals and what have you. Randy, they were the ones who did the work on the expansion of the Tema Harbour, the Terminal 3, which now is second only to Lagos, the Lagos port. And it's a 24-hour port, Randy. President Mahama says he will cut down the number of ministers. Randy, you see this book? It is the list of people who work at the presidency, political appointees, and civil servants. If you take out the civil servants, and there are 337 people who are classified as political appointees at the presidency. President Mahama says he will get rid of this arrangement. And the reason why I spoke about Bawumia, you know that his brother is also a staffer under the presidency. He's called Mumuni Abdullahi Bawumia. His name is here. He is number 7 on the other political appointees list. In addition to that, we know that his father-in-law, Alhaji Ramadan, a man I know quite well, his brother-in-law, Abu Ramadan, are all ensconced in government. So the same nepotism that Akufo-Addo believes in, Bawumia also believes in. That's why our chairman for Home Fees proven. Then Chairman Opol, Nebanan Opol is extremely important. So those who say that if you voted for Bawumia, you will only be getting an extension of Akufo-Addo's tenure are right. There's nothing in Bawumia's conduct that shows that he disagrees with any aspect of Akufo-Addo's governance. Because he has also ensured that his relatives are pushed in there to join the nepotistic scramble. The other issue, Randy, is that President Mahama says he will discontinue the payment of ex-gratia. As I speak to Randy, Bawumia believes firmly in the payment of ex-gratia. At a time when Ghanaians are complaining and the opposition has said we will scrap it, about a month or two ago, Randy, a committee was put together to look into the payment of ex-gratia. So when they leave power, January 5th, they will collect it. And Bawumia too will collect it. What is Bawumia's position on ex-gratia? He believes in it. Even though he hasn't said it, through deeds and actions, we know that he believes in it. They are preparing to collect ex-gratia. President Mahama says, I will scrap it. If you want to serve in my government, forget about ex-gratia. Right? In addition to that, he says that bills like DSTV payment, fuel payment, entertainment, all kinds of things, Randy, they pay the telephone bills of political appointees, ministers, and what. President Mahama says he will cancel it if you want to be in government. Why? Randy, when you are coming to work, don't you buy your own fuel? So we will buy our own fuel. President Mahama says he will ensure that. But Randy, what accounts for the eerie silence of Bawumia on these policy proposals? Instead, and let me take a bite on the religious thing that you said. Maybe it will make the program neater so that Nana Kumia can come in when I'm done. Randy, instead of policy alternatives, what we are having is that Nana Kumia and the other consultants that Bawumia has surrounded himself with are advising ethno-religious politics. Who would have thought, Randy, that in the 21st century, 2023, the candidate of a mainstream party would opt for ethno-religious politics? And Randy, I'm not just saying things. Look, they have put out an elaborate campaign, complete with flyers, which their propagandists have splashed all over social media. Suddenly, they are talking about religious tolerance, one nation, one people, a common faith. Randy, if you rank all the problems we have in this country, can you show me where religious intolerance ranks as a problem?
Negative.
Randy, you are in the media, you hear things. Tell me. In fact, Randy, I'm 41 years old. Since I was born, I have never heard of any interreligious clash. Indeed, the most we have is some intra-religious disagreement over path, the Tijaniya and the Asuna thing. Even that one is, at most, you get some verbal exchanges.
There's nothing.
I have never heard of religious intolerance in Ghana. Yes, we have chieftaincy disputes, land disputes, what have you. But I have never heard of religious intolerance. Yet, Nana Kumia and the other consultants who are advising Bawumia say that it is a major issue.
Why does he keep bringing me into his stuff?
You're a member of Bawumia's team.
But you are even angling for running mates, aren't you? You say that if they let you, it is a good job for you. Randy. So they have made
the running mate is not elected.
No problem. I said you are angling. I didn't say you are contesting or you are running. Randy. They say that suddenly, of all the at a time when we cannot get syndicated loans, Bawumia says,
we can close the RENA unit over 4 million.
Exactly. Bawumia says, and you know that a few months ago, a whole country, Ghana, we could not buy measles vaccines for babies, and babies were left at the mercy of business, and some of them died. Measles, we could not buy vaccines in 2023.
Nigeria gave us some.
Right? You see, this document that I'm holding here, I will give you a copy. I'll give Nana Kumia to a copy. He should read it. Your heart will break. This is a press conference addressed by a coalition of civil society organizations and child rights activists in education. Go and read it. And there are 1 million Ghanaian children.
Is it one of our basic education?
Yes, 1 million Ghanaian children sitting on the floor or on their bellies studying in Ghana. After all these problems, Bawumia says religious tolerance or intolerance is number one. So that is the focus of his campaign. He also says that where he comes from, Northeast region, is a major issue in this campaign. So they have designed, right? It's not conjecture. This is not some.
Where did I don't want to do, but where did Bawumia say that?
But why do we why?
It's a major issue.
But if it was not a major issue, why in his speech where he comes from was an issue? You have put people out there to why your communications director. Yesterday was on this. I listened to him. Randy, I engaged Samuel Wuku in a debate on the night of Bawumia's election, and the commentary. Oh, he's someone who brings people together. He ensures religious tolerance. Randy, religious tolerance in Ghana is because of Bawumia. Even me at my small parliamentary level, I visit churches, I visit mosques. I've even been to shrines when I've been invited. So a vice president who is merely invited to church programs does not ensure religious tolerance. But they have made it an issue.
Is that what Bawumia said?
But that's what you are saying. That's the narrative that Randy. They have designed flyers.
In fact, yesterday,
and they put it out.
Yesterday's Statesman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is a key campaign. Randy, you see, Randy, it is a key campaign. You see, Randy, you know, I understand fully that religious and ethnic matters are sensitive. So I will be circumspect. I'm not going to be, you know, I won't say things that offend anybody's sensibilities.
Like Sam George.
No, Sam George has done no such thing. If there's time, we will come to it. Randy, Randy, have you noticed that since he won, suddenly there's a trooping of all manner of religious leaders to go and congratulate him?
The Daily Post says Bawumia.
Randy, tomorrow, we are aware that tomorrow at 11 a.m. They've gotten imams around the country to go and visit him. Tomorrow. There's also word that there's actually a deliberate mobilization of some church leaders, religious leaders to go and pay him visit. We have even heard of monies that are being paid to facilitate those visits. But Randy, you would ask why, Randy, you will ask why suddenly ethno-religious matters have become high on the MPP agenda, Bawumia's agenda. Why is that even the issue? And you see, I don't know whether you are aware, and Anakumia may deny it, but we know it for a fact. You know, in 2016, they waged an evil whispering campaign against President Mahama along ethnic and religious lines. They didn't say it on platforms because they could not defend it. They waged a whispering campaign on the ground, Randy, to the point where they went telling people in the communities that Mahama was in fact a Muslim who had changed his name for political expediency. Rather, you remember that in some of their strongholds, they made denigration of Mahama along ethnic lines a key issue, to the extent that people were referring to every headquarter they met as Mahama. Randy, you are aware of that matter. When they meet a headquarter, hey, Mahama Braha. It was a deliberate ethnocentric campaign, but they waged it below the radar in order that it does not attract condemnation from decent-minded people. And as they say again in Akan, that bile, poison that they pumped into people's head, they fear will affect Bawumia because of where he comes from and his religion. It is the reason why, for some time now, Randy, they have made it an agenda to sanitize and cleanse Bawumia's image in this regard. And we know, you know, Kusi Boateng, or is it Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi? What's it called? Is it Kusi Boateng or Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi? What is the legal position on that matter?
You're referring to the pastor.
Now, what is he? Is it Kwabena Edu-Gyamfi or
both? You can use it interchangeably.
Imagine a man of God. We can't even identify him properly.
No, it's okay.
He was key in this mobilization. This sudden gravitation towards churches. Randy, President Sense Nkrumah, I'm sure even Gotjesberg, when he was the governor of the Gold Coast, used to honor invitations to religious programs. Kufuor has done it. Mills everybody has done it. Parliament, Nana Kumia, when he was MP, I'm sure he used to go to the major Pentecost. They have this, what do you call it, major church around the Bubuashi about. I'm sure he used to go there. So it has never been an issue. But because of your own viral campaign against your opponent, you fear that the same chalice that you gave to your opponent to drink, you'll be forced to drink from. So they have suddenly made ethno-religious campaigning a key issue and are pushing it at the expense of the critical issues that matter to the people of Ghana. But you see, Randy, they say that religion is the opium of the masses. That's Karl Marx, right? Randy, but I can assure you that opium does not cure hunger. Opium does not cure hunger. When a man is hungry, and even he's taking opium, once the opium clears, the hunger will surface and his stomach will start growling. At that point, you see, Randy, the 19 people who have died from the non-functioning of the renal unit, I'm sure when you go there, you will find Muslims and Christians in there. The 1.3 million bondholders, including pensioners, whose proceeds have been withheld and have been thrust into hardships. Right? There's one woman who protested some months ago and said that she has 2 mentally challenged children, and it is the process of these bonds that she uses to fend for them. Now she doesn't have it. People have to buy drugs in old age. They don't have money to do so. According to the World Bank, 850,000 Ghanaians last year alone were plunged into poverty because of inflationary pressures. Andy, when you look into these people, and these are human beings, there are Muslims in there, there are Christians in there, I'm sure there are even atheists in there, or those who believe in traditional religion. When your child goes to school and he sits on the floor or lies on his belly, it does not discriminate against Christian or Muslim. Rather, the hardships we are facing, the problems we are going through, the difficulty, the anguish, the suffering and pain we are going through has not discriminated between an Ashanti and an Ewe. It has not discriminated between somebody who subscribes to the Hindu belief or who attends Assemblies of God Church. So when people enter the booth to vote, Randy, they will vote based on their personal circumstance. Just like MPP delegates, almost 40% of them did not find Bawumia worthy enough to invest with leadership of the MPP. So this ethno-religious thing, this artifice, Randy, this artifice they are building. You see, and one of my problems with Bawumia is his penchant for make-believe. You know, make-believe. Things that don't exist, he says they exist. The same way he came to posture as some knowledgeable person on the economy. Today we can't even get syndicated loan. And he's been forced to flee the economic debate. Suddenly, he is the one who has unified people in this country. As if before he emerged in 2008, when he was plucked from relative obscurity to become running mate of Akufo, before he came, we were at each other's throats. We were cajoling each other over religion. Make believe. Suddenly we are being told that he is the one who brings people together. Right? When you meet people, do you push them into gutters? When you meet people, do you push them into gutters? So this thing about bringing who together, how has that helped the man whose relative has died from his inability to access dialysis service at Kolebu? How has it affected the man in North Tongu who is swimming in water instead of living in a decent house? The 850,000 people who have been pushed into poverty, how has bringing them together helped them? And you see, Randy, the final point, this thing about, oh, he is the first non-Akan to become flag bearer of the MPP, as if it is an achievement. Last week I made the point that it is mere tokenism. You see, Randy, if non-Akans in the MPP have to wait for 70 years before they can lead the MPP into an election, then it is not you and I who have classified the MPP as an Akan party. It is their own party, Randy. The MPP, at least the tradition that they come from, was formed in 1954. That is 70 years ago, by traditional authorities in Ashanti and Achim. They've had 6 or 7 presidential candidates, so if you like prime ministerial candidates, before now. The first one was J.B. Dankwa, Nana Akufo-Addo's uncle. The second one was Buzia Akan. In fact, they even had opportunity to select a ceremonial president. They selected Nana Akufo-Addo's father, and Ekuapem Akan. Then in the 70s, they split into two. Even when they split, they still chose Akans to lead both factions. Nana Akufo-Addo's uncle, Pa Willie, and Victor Owusu. Then, when we came back to constitutional rule, Professor Dubois was selected. Then the lot fell on President Kufuor. Then Nana Akufo-Addo. And in fact, it is 7 presidential candidates on the trot have been Akans. And it has taken 70 years for non-Akans. Meanwhile, we know that in the existence of the NPP, there have been prominent non-Akans who have played roles. Yet it has taken them 70 years to even get the opportunity to lead the NPP. This doesn't give you plaudits at the vote. In fact, if Ghanaians were looking for inclusivity and diversity as key parameters to vote for a particular party, why would they waste time with the NPP? And we, the NDC, have been around for barely 30 years. And yet in that period, ethnicity has never been an issue for us. Our founder came from the Volta region. He was followed by an Akan man. Now we are led by a Northerner. Randy, we in the NDC, a time will come when we maybe have 2 Akans on our ticket as presidential candidate and running mate. 2 others, one as presidential candidate, one as running mate. And it won't matter because Ghanaians see that by default, we are diverse. In fact, that is where we should get to. 2 Ghan men should be able to be on a ticket and it won't be a problem. People will look at the substance that they bring to the table, not where they come from. It is in the NPP that where you come from is an issue. Such that if a non-Akan is selected, it is major news. Why should it be major news? 70 years after the formation of your party or your tradition, you are now presenting to us a tokenist intervention and telling us that you have a first Northerner. In any event, the man is going to meet, is he not a Northerner? So how does that even give you an advantage? So honestly, whichever way you look at it, Bawumia is an extremely vulnerable candidate. Extremely vulnerable candidate. And then on their running mate team, is he Randy? The truth is that Bawumia himself does not have much gravitas in the NPP, as the elections have shown. As this election has shown. He is not an Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo secured 94.43% in 2014. In 2010, he secured 78%. You see, as for whatever happened before they expanded their delegates base, you cannot use it because it's not a good metric. So when President Akufo-Addo was going into the 2016 election, you saw that the win was in the sales. He had the entire party established. Even though they were butchering themselves at their headquarters, their base was solidly behind him. So it was little surprise that he won by a convincing margin in 2016. Bawumia does not have that. So all this jostling that is going on, he better takes his time to study the terrain and do what will be beneficial to him, not what interest groups
right.
tell him.
We'll be back shortly.
Mr. Ampedu.
Good afternoon, Mr. Saru.
How is business doing?
My business is collapsing.
Why is your business collapsing?
I sold my products and services to my clients on credit, and my debtors are not paying their debts.
Have you heard of Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company operating in all the 16 regions of Ghana?
Not at all.
Mr. Ampedu, all you need to do is to contact them on their customer service line. I recommend Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company to financial institutions, businessmen and businesswomen, other companies, and also individuals. Rosic Consult has 98.4% debt recovery rate. We have professional debt recovery managers. You are assured of swift debt recovery. No recovery, no commission. For Rosic Consult Limited, no more write-offs. And we pre-finance the recovery ourselves.
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting? For your kids' enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
Beach hangout?
Angel Cola.
For all your refreshing moments?
Angel Cola.
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola. Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you. Thank you. Enjoyment Cola.
Angel Cola.
The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Discover the perfect blend of quality, modern elegance, and affordability with Kingdom Home Real Estate. At Kingdom Home Real Estate, we cater to both local and international clients, offering exceptional housing options in Ebri and Ikropong. Our properties are conveniently located, providing a tranquil atmosphere, top-notch security, and essential amenities such as electricity, water, and backup generators. Our strategic locations offer easy access to popular tourist destinations, all within a 30-minute drive from Accra. Visit us in Ikropong right after the Latte Junction, or in Ebri near the Ebri Girls Senior High School. Alternatively, you can reach us at Accra office on 0559 671 144, Akropong office on 0555 621 611. Kingdom Home Real Estate, where your dream home becomes a reality.
Inside Black Star Press Limited, grow inside the invective minds, evolving concepts, and the creative trends. The printing press you need now. Witness the beauty, diversity, and natural wonder with our works. Inside Black Star Press Limited, in association with Lionhead Group of Companies. Call us now on 0200-880-000 for all your print works. Black Star Press Limited, a worldwide reputation for quality printing.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model. Securing your safety, creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
For over 20 years of serving the world with herbal and alternative medicine, we've been successful in treating complicated medical conditions with a perfect combination of herbal and alternative methods of treatment like homeopathy, naturopathy, reflexology, and many more. We deliver excellent and effective service to people from all walks of life through scientific and traditional means. We have a well-equipped laboratory with advanced diagnostic and treatment devices to help detect your illness so we know the right medication to be given. At Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, we are proud manufacturers of our own herbal medication. Our zeal and passion to save lives with our patients at heart and outstanding achievements since 1996 has won us several awards. That is why we say, go herbal, go Amen. We are located everywhere in all the regions. Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allahu Shafi, God is the healer.
Upon you.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And still with me on the show, I have Nana Akumia and Felix Kwachi Ofosu. Okay, so I'm sure many of you are wondering why I'm in black today. A final funeral rites for the late Honorable Dr. Sherry Aite, who passed on. And so it's happening at the forecourt of the State House. And I've seen a very, 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 very good tribute written to her by one of her deputies when she was a Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. Dr. Omani Boama was a deputy. A very, very good tribute. I wish you could read the tribute in today's edition of Daily Graphic. But what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, us got the mullah, got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets and computers and download the GamePack Games app on Play Store. You can also play on their website at www.gamepackgames.com or by dialing *946# on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Shall we make we play this game and make some moolah? Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. GamePack Games, more moolah, more power. This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. And charcoal has essential medicinal properties that help remove toxins from our bodies. And the natural absorptive property of charcoal helps to remove the bacteria that produces bad breath in the mouth, hence giving you fresh breath. Kel Charcoal toothpaste has been formulated and produced under strict hygienic conditions with all the necessary production protocols and has been approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Constant use of Kel Charcoal toothpaste gives you a good fresh breath, whiter teeth, reduces dental plaque, makes the gum healthy and strong, prevents cavity, upset stomach, hangover, and so on. Kel Charcoal toothpaste is recommended for adults and children 6 years and above. Kel Charcoal toothpaste for white teeth and fresh breath all day long. And this is another quality product from Samara Company Limited. Kel Charcoal toothpaste, happy smile. And Ayesoko, Betway's cash out just go way better. The enhanced early partial and auto cash out feature lets you cash your bets out early. Cash out a portion of your ongoing bets or even set your bets to cash out automatically. All this to give you way more control over every thrilling bet you place. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. It's not for persons under the age of 18. Betway, get way more. And you know that when it comes to our health, God is the healer, but He does the healing through humans. And one way to cure ailments is through alternative medicine. And this is where I introduce to you Amen Alternative Medical Hospital. It's one of the best alternative medical hospitals in Ghana. So for all your health consultations, counseling, physiotherapy, and homeopathic medicine, Amen Alternative Medical Hospital is the best for you. Amen Alternative Medical Hospital is the first to modernize herbal and homeopathy medicine in Ghana. They have the best medical practitioners from KNUST with the state-of-the-art medical equipment curated for your need. The most obscure ailments can be diagnosed and taken care of. Amen Alternative Medical Hospital is at Klagon on the Lashibi Ashama Road near the Underbridge, and they're open from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. every Monday to Saturday, and from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sundays. You can reach them on 0207 229505 or 0244 227192 to book your appointments. Amen Alternative Medical Hospital. God is the healer. All right, Nana. Let me come back to you. I'm sure that you made a few notes. When,
yes.
Felix was speaking.
What name did you call him?
Who?
Felix.
Felix Kwachofosu.
No, you had a title to it.
Which one?
Oh, just now.
The rapper.
What name did you call him?
MC Felix.
Religious posturing.
This is typical MC Felix.
On the 1 and 2.
On the 1 and 2. MC Felix. On the 1 and 2.
I was rapping you on your religious. But why have you advised me to adopt that campaign?
But you know, it's all fluff.
Oh, really?
It's all fluff.
Yeah,
now, Felix says that
Dr.
Bawumia's margin is not big. The 61% is not big enough. It's underwhelming. Look, we expected a higher percentage, 70%, I told you, by our own standard. But otherwise, by any standard, 61% vote in any election is very, very, very credible. Why? People win elections to be president of Ghana with 50%, 50.3.
Yeah.
And we accept them and come and sit here and sing their virtues. They win elections by 50.3, which means nearly 50% of the Ghanaian population voted against them. And yet we accept them and we come and sit here and talk about how great they are. With 50.2%. So, Felix, you are rapping from both sides of your mouth. 61% by any standard is a credible win. It's just that it fell below our own expectation. Now, you should bear in mind, Randy, that in the history of the NPP flag bearership since 1992, this is the highest vote a first-time winner has got. Edu Boahini won the flag bearership for the first time in 1992 with 50, I have the figures here.
Is the comparison appropriate looking at the electoral college and all that?
But that's why you use percentage, not numbers.
Yeah, so maybe if you compare the it's more like the special delegates than the. But this one started from 2010, so there have been 3 elections with this one. If you're doing like for like.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you use percentages, so not numbers, because the numbers are not equal.
Yes.
The percentages show you there. Where's he gone? Okay. Now, Edu Boahini, as a first-time winner in 1992, got 56.6%. Jay Kufuor, as the first-time winner to be flag bearer of the NPP in 1996, got 51.9%. Akufo-Addo, as the first-time winner for the NPP flag bearership in 2008, got 47.9%. So Bawumia's vote as a first-time winner for the flag bearership at 61 is actually the highest for a first-time winner of the NPP flag bearership.
You consider that none of these persons had been running mate for the NPP in 4 elections. Had not been vice president.
What you need to consider is that there have been a vice president before who was also a flag bearer candidate. So that is not an issue. So I'm saying that for the first time, winner of NPP flag bearer,
Right.
this is the highest. Now, you know, there were polls. There was one poll that was supposed to be very credible that even said Bawumia was going to get about 43% or 42 or so. So if he gets nearly 20 more points above that, it's very credible. And you know, NDC, they have told everybody in this country that there was no way that a Northerner or Bawumia will be elected flag bearer. Felix and his collaborators, they've sat here and all over the place. So you say that the man cannot win. That's what you've told yourself and you've told your supporters and Ghanaians, that the man cannot win an NPP flag bearership. He wins the flag bearership. Now the goalposts are shifted. His margin is only 61. You see, these people speak from both sides of their face looks forwards and backwards at the same time, depending on the situation. There's no principle. Felix and his collaborators. You say the man he cannot win. Then he wins, they say, but he's only 61. And yet you people have won presidential elections by 50.2. And you praise yourself for winning. So, Felix, MC, that argument, it doesn't wash. Get away from it. Then he's talking about establishment candidates helping Bawumia. How does establishment candidate help Bawumia? Just thinking about it. Because Felix, and not just Felix, a lot of his collaborators and other people, they have talked about the anger against the current system. As for Felix, in the words that I couldn't even keep up, anguish, the suffering, the pain, some of the other words that he used, against the establishment. So if somebody, in your words, is the establishment candidate, and in the face of all this suffering that you have told us about, the anguish, the pain that people are going through against the establishment, how does the establishment candidate then get 61%? It should work against him. In fact, from what Felix is saying, if you are classified as the establishment candidate, is your death kneel. You shouldn't come anywhere near winning. Because there's so much anger against the establishment, according to Felix. There's so much anguish, there's so much disappointment, there's so much bitterness, and all of that against the establishment. So somebody that you tag as establishment candidate, how does he win?
Does that not explain why Nana Akufo-Addo will win with in excess of 85 and 94 in the same electoral college? Yet, Dr. Bawumia will make a 61.
And when did Akufo-Addo win those 90s? Third also attempt.
No, I'm saying that with this electoral college.
I'm saying that when did he win those 90s? Third also attempt, not at the first time.
Yes.
So it doesn't come in. Now, I'm saying, just using Felix's words, MC Felix, that if you say that there's so much revolt against the establishment, and then you have somebody that you said is the establishment candidate, tagged him as the establishment candidate, then that person should come nowhere near. Then he talked about, say, cash. Then Bawumia spent 100, give some figure, 100 million cedis. That's what Felix is saying. Randy. And then he says that Bawumia, his personal financial circumstances cannot allow him to be able to go and collect 100 million for a campaign. You know, I don't know if you've stood for elections, but Felix, he's stood elections before. When you are a credible candidate, you would not fund elections from your own pockets. When you are a credible candidate, you attract funding from people who believe in you. When Felix was running, can he tell us that in his own AY something,
AAK.
AAK.
They will take exception. Abra Asebu Kwamankese.
Yeah, but the initials, I mean, it doesn't stay in my head. I know.
It must stay.
I know.
AAK. Very simple. Very simple.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. No worries. No.
Very simple.
So, when you were running your elections in AAK 4 years ago, can you put your hand on your heart and say that you funded those elections from your pockets? You cannot. When you are running look, I've run elections before. Randy, I can tell you, in 2004, when I was information minister and ran for election for the third time, and in 2008, when I ran elections for the fourth time, the funding that came my way after the elections, we gave it all away.
You gave it to who?
Oh, we gave it back to people in the constituency.
Those who gave you the money?
No. The party people. Because you had so much surplus.
Hey.
Oh, that's what happened. When you are credible,
is it not because you were in power in those two elections? Because I'm sure in 96 and 2000 you didn't have access to Dash.
He had a huge deficit.
So I'm saying, the point I'm making is that elections in this country and everywhere else in the world, when you go to America today, these people who are jostling to be presidential candidates for the
a lot of fundraising.
A lot of money is coming. Obama raised so much money at the end of the day, he didn't know what to do with it. Look, the NPP in the year 2000, when the NDC had closed up the media space, and GBC was the only major television company, and they had closed it up. And then when the NPP is having a rally, they will show some.
You mean 96?
No, 2000.
2000 you had private.
2000?
Yeah.
TV?
Okay, radio.
But you were hosting Talking Points.
On
that's GBC.
Yeah,
I was hosting Talking Point when I wasn't in politics at that time.
Oh, wow. we knew you were in politics, but we were hosting Talking Point. In fact, all Talking Point hosts, I'm so sorry to imagine, all Talking Point hosts, with the exception of perhaps Ernest Thompson.
Yes.
Yababia Samoa, Nano Hinintu, Nana Kumia, all of them MPP, and Rollins.
When I was hosting Talking Point,
you were hiding your political.
You knew.
You were hiding your
I was not.
You were hiding your political. What do you call it?
Now let me go on.
Okay, you go on.
He was only attending Friday night meetings.
Randy, all of this is a calculated attempt.
But you were a good one.
All of this is a calculated attempt to swerve me. But it's not going to happen.
Go ahead.
I'm going to stay.
It's a small
now. So in the year 2000, the NPP coffers.
Yes.
6 months to the election. Really, cash-strapped. Obechebi Lamte was the blessed memory, was the campaign manager. J. Kufuor was the candidate.
Yes.
Cash-strapped. GBC wouldn't show the support base that we're garnering in the country. So we took the decision to actually buy space. And so we'll bring our own footage. And then that one will be forced to show because we've bought the space. It's not up to their editorial discretion. And the first rally that came under that arrangement was in Tamale. And we filmed it ourselves and bought the space and took it to GBC. And so they had to show it. Randy, after that showing of the Tamale rally and people seeing the crowd that had come to listen to J. Kufuor at that time, between that period, around August to December 2000, the funding that came into the party from all over, because people then saw that, hey, you people are a credible party, you have every chance of winning. Look, 2 months to the election, people were still coming. They will be told, take the money to your constituency. Yes. I'm saying in my own experience, 2004, 2008, when we finished the campaign, the funding that was left, so we bought TV sets and all kinds of stuff for the delegates. When you are credible, if you don't attract funding, it means you are not a credible candidate. He's saying, you said that we were in power. John Mahama, the last NDC primary, he himself reported officially that he gave 40 cedis.
Yes.
40 cities times 350,000 delegates. You're looking at over 10 million cities. Did he fund it from his own pocket? You see?
Yeah.
Did he fund it from his own pocket?
Yeah, but
in fact, about 14 million cities. Did John Mahama fund that expenditure from his own pocket? So, coming to sit here and say, hey!
So Jan paid 40 cities.
40 cities.
Official.
It is
and you paid what?
a tenth.
I'm not talking about the quantity.
Okay.
I'm talking about the principle.
Yes.
That John Mahama, official, said he was paying 40 cities to each delegate. Times 350,000 NDC delegates. That's about 14 million cities. Is John Mahama able to fund that money from his own pocket? MC Phillips. So, be calm and be objective. Did he fund that from his own personal muscle? Then he's coming to tell us about.
So the Komla Dumo BBC journalist of the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kwesi.
Yeah. Who is currently with the BBC. There's Nane's point about attracting funds from people who believe in a credible candidate during an election raises the larger subject of political party financing. It is the biggest route to corruption in our part of the world, and the earlier we dealt with it, the better for us.
You know,
to both of
you know, that's why I have always, anytime you people bring up this matter of political funding by the state, I am vehemently against that. Because you should be, if you are not credible, don't come and waste our time.
You think it's just being credible? Sometimes it's not about credible. It's because of what the people stand to gain from you.
What they stand to gain from you?
Yes, if you are successful.
It's not charity, actually.
It's not.
Everywhere in the world. And look, if you are a credible candidate, the people funding John Mahama, did they expect John Mahama to give them something? They believe in him. Some may come because they expect that if they give you 5 million cedis, when they come and there's a contract, you will look at them. There will be some like that. But there will be some too who just believe in you. You won't even see them after.
Those who believe in you genuinely are those who supported you in 96 and 2000.
Oh, this is
in 2004 and 2008, it was those who either had benefited
the people who from the people who funded
or who expected to benefit from your
the
office.
people who funded him
in opposition
in AAK. Yes. What are they going to benefit from?
They're genuine believers.
The people who are
they are the genuine believers because I have nothing to give.
And everywhere, and you know, the monies that we talk about here in the political campaign is chicken feed. When you go to places like America, where you think that everybody is, you know, most people are above the poverty line and so on, and so they can afford their own transport and so on. The monies they spent.
The difference is the level of transparency. So that tomorrow, if a contract is awarded, people know that this particular company or this person is a fundraiser for this particular political party. They did this. So we need to look at that.
So, you know, we've talked about tightening.
We've
talked about auditing of political parties and so on by the Electoral Commission. Those are the things that we should strengthen. But as for political campaign, Randy, if you are a credible candidate, you would attract so much fund. If you are. Unless you want to tell me that John Mahama funded this 14 million cedis from his own pocket. Then he's telling us Baumia, the end. Look, John Mahama has been rejected twice. In 2016 and in 2020. And yet, so you have brought him. And you are telling us that he would win the elections. So by your own criteria, somebody who's been rejected twice, you've brought him back. Somebody who has never been rejected, you say that one that we shouldn't bring him. He will not win. And then he went on about ethnic. He said the NPP is campaigning on ethnic. Use something, something.
Ethno-religious lies. You say he's the.
Let me. Don't worry. Let me refresh.
Unifier. Religious tolerance.
Yes.
I see.
I have never heard Baumia say that he's going to unify the country. But that's fine.
There's actually a video
you said some of it's fine. You're talking about campaigning on ethnic basis. I'll read you something, Randy. And I'm quoting directly John Mahama. He says, sometimes I feel sad when I see some of our Northern brothers also running around doing this. Then he was doing the sign there. They would use you and dump you. Then the crowd responded. And he went on. I want to live to see the day. You let something happen today. And let our brother Bawumia say he's standing for president today. They will never give it to him. I can assure you. Let me skip some of that and go to the conclusion. Then he concludes. And so, I am proud to be a member of the NDC. Because I know it is a party that offers opportunity for all people of Ghana, irrespective of their ethnic affiliation or your religious affiliation. Now here's somebody saying that somebody, because he is from the North now, will never be elected as the flag bearer of a political party. So who's doing campaign on ethnic basis? This is President Mahama, your leader. Let me quote another person who, perennial rabble-rouser, Fifi Kwete. And listen to what he says. I feel very sorry for Dr. He purported to have forgotten Dr. Bawumia. So he said, I feel very sorry for Dr. What's his name? Mahmoud Bawumia. He's Fifi Kwete at his insolent best. But is that it? All he needs to do is take a good look at what happened to Alhaji Aliyu Mahama. Is Mahmoud Bawumia actually dreaming that in the unlikely event of NPP winning power, somehow, after Akufo-Addo has run his term, you, Mahmoud Bawumia, will be made a candidate of the NPP? Are you dreaming, Mahmoud Bawumia? Are you dreaming? You don't know the party in which you are. You don't understand that if you are not Ashanti or Achim, you have no chance. This is Fifi Kwete. I've just quoted Mahama and John Mahama and Fifi Kwete. There's more. So, which party is doing ethnic politics? Which party? And Felix comes to sit here rapping, telling us that it took 70 years for the NPP to elect a Northern.
I lie.
It's a very distasteful comment.
Yeah, but it's every day. Is it not?
Let me show you.
I said,
take it easy. Let me show you why. So if I say to you, or somebody says to you, that how long will it take the NDC to elect a Muslim, even as running mate? Is that where we want to take our?
We've had a Muslim as running mate.
Is that where we want
Alhaji Muhammad Mumini 2004?
Have you had a Muslim as your flag bearer before?
No, but it is not.
How long?
But it is not a problem at all because we both know that it's only a matter of time.
In your case?
Yes, because we've done it. We are diverse. It's clear. Even gender. We've bridged the gender bridge. We've bridged
in your case?
Yes.
It's not a problem.
It is not. Yes.
In somebody there's a problem.
Major problem. Major problem.
You see? You see the hypocrisy?
Major problem for you.
So let's not get ourselves into that debate. Okay? Let's not get ourselves into that because then everybody can raise all kinds of issues that are totally just heat, no light. Stop that. Okay? It's not going to help you. So when John Mahama was your presidential candidate from the North, as your flag bearer in 2012, he could go around trumpeting his Northness and to chide NPP for not having a Northerner. At that time he was doing that. Was there some war between Northerners and Southerners? So if it was relevant for the NDC and John Mahama to champion, to use their Northern origin to do their campaign, you are coming to sit here to say that, even having even heard Bawumia speak in these terms that John Mahama spoke, you're coming to sit here to chide Bawumia. You take advantage of your so-called inclusivity because you have a Northerner as your running mate, as your flag bearer. But in somebody's case, it's ethnopolitics. They are coming to rap to us about this. Now, he talked about economy and that we have failed. And Felix, sometimes you try to be insulting and it's not necessary.
Yeah, who have I insulted?
No, you see, last week today you've told us that Bawumia is a token candidate. And rather, you should be stopping him.
I said tokenism. I didn't say he was a token. I said you are engaged in tokenism. It's not an insult. It's a legitimate.
We've engaged in tokenism by electing Bawumia.
Yes, it's tokenism. How is that insulting?
Yeah.
How is it insulting?
Take it easy. And you should be stopping him when he gets on that tangent.
Why? You have called Fifi Kwete insolent.
Why?
You have. That's actually an insult.
Why? When he goes.
Why, Nana?
You just called Fifi Kwete insolent.
He's describing somebody as a token.
He didn't do that.
And
he described an action by the
exactly.
party.
Yes.
You have just called our general secretary insolent.
The
50-something-year-old.
The two of you should not talk at each other.
Yes, I'm talking.
I'm saying.
You said Fifi Kwete is insolent. The 50-something-year-old man.
Yes.
50. He's insolent. But Bawumia, he cannot be a token. He's a token. I've said it actually. In fact, I've actually now stated he's a token.
Now, when you say he's a token, you have said that the man himself has no merit, and that is only there as a token.
Yes, it's actually a valid criticism.
And then, can I finish? You
yes,
just
right.
write. And then you've also insulted the NPP delegates who elected him.
Oh, how?
That they don't know what they are doing.
How?
It's not fair. Oh, really? If I came here to say that John Mahama is a token, will it be fair?
How?
And so you should be checking him when he goes on that tangent.
Nana, you described Fifi Kwete.
Almost
hold on. Yes. A person who was also elected.
And I have shown you why.
He's almost
also shown you.
I've also shown you
why.
How has he shown that Bawumia is a token?
Because you have come under criticism for not having non-accounts on your ticket. You want to cure that. That is tokenism. Okay. You don't mean it. It doesn't run deep.
So John Mahama has come under criticism.
For what?
Huh?
For what? For what?
Oh, you want me to start criticizing him now?
Yes, so tell me what he has done that is tokenist. Tell me.
And you have elected him. So then I should also be right in describing him as a token.
For what?
What is he symbolizing? Hold on. You are way above that debate.
What is he symbolizing?
You see, my problem is that you are way above that debate. That's why I'm drawing your attention. Now, and Randy should draw you back when you lose your age. You should be drawing.
I don't have to.
Now,
because it's legitimate, perfectly legitimate.
Okay. I don't have to.
Go and think about
it. I don't have to think about it.
Now, perfectly legitimate.
Appropriate and reprobate.
Exactly.
You sit here, and on the basis of what you think, the conduct of Fifi Kwete, you describe him as insolent.
Yes.
And I stop you from doing that.
I have shown.
But he has also
shown you why he's talking.
He hasn't shown. What has he shown?
Why?
You disagree with what he has said, but it doesn't mean he hasn't shown.
How did he show it?
First of all,
you wanted to show you.
Hold on. First of all, what you asked me to stop him from saying was a description of an act by your party.
Perfectly legitimate.
It is only after this your protest that he then went ahead to say what he said.
Okay.
But what you wanted me.
So you disagree with me?
No, hold on.
No problem.
I'm saying that your call to me was very unfair. Really? Because what you're asking me to do is not what he did.
It's not like
he described an action, and you said that you disagree with that.
So let's agree to disagree.
It's not even insulting.
Now let me go on this. Now, MC Felix Kwacha.
You.
He's responding.
The guy is totally. Now,
he's in a good mood.
MC Felix Kwacha.
Yes.
He has said today, now, that they've gotten imams to go and greet Dr. Bawumia.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Is it 11 a.m. tomorrow?
Yes, he actually gave the precise time. He has said that they've gotten religious leaders to go and visit Dr. Bawumia. So those imams who would visit Bawumia, they don't have a mind of their own. They have been.
Is that what it means?
They have been. Yeah, because you said that it's been organized.
Of course, but what is wrong with organization?
It's been organized.
What is wrong with organization?
So what is the significance of you bringing them in? That they have been railroaded, and then he actually said that they've been given monies. They've been given monies.
I've heard it. Yes, I've heard that information to facilitate their movement. Those are the exact words I used.
You see, these religious leaders, Muslim religious leaders, imams, the Christian religious leaders, the pastors and so on, they've been given monies. That's what Felix says he has heard. Exactly. So they can go and greet Dr. Bawumia.
Exactly.
Look at the insults. The people don't have a mind of their own. They are being railroaded under the influence of monies. He's able to come and sit here and tell us about these things. Huh? Show a little bit more respect.
As soon as
now,
same to people.
We're talking about the economy. It says we have failed. And give a tall list.
And I go to debate this one too.
Oh. And let me speak small. Why? Let me speak small.
I can go to debate this one too.
I would agree that I would agree that my rap, I don't know how to rap. But at least,
that's why you are DJ.
You are
DJ Akumia.
You are a certified rapper.
You don't know how to rap, but you know how to spin. So
DJ Akumia. DJ Akumia. Spinner. I used to call them spinners. DJ Akumia.
You are just doing equalization. But that's fine. But listen. Then there he is. Look, of course, what's happened at the Korle Bu Rena thing is an embarrassment. We are all upset that the facility can be closed for this long, And indeed, I heard there's so much disappointment in Parliament, and I heard my good friend, the MP for Nsawam. I forgot his, sorry, no. Adwajiri. No, he's the deputy majority leader also. Anodompe. Speaks so forcefully about this in Parliament, that what is happening at the Korle Bu place is an embarrassment. And I'm happy that it's been corrected, though very late and so on. But Randy, this rap that Felix has learned, chew and pour, about the Ghanaian economy and MPP's performance. You remember, on this same table, he told Ghanaians the same thing over and over and over and over in the run-up to 2020. And yet still, Ghanaians did not buy your rap. And they rejected you and your party and your message massively. Same as they did in 2016. Did the same thing to you. After all the gloom and doom that you painted, they rejected you in 2020. And if you go on painting the same picture, they will reject you again. You say Bawumia hasn't come up with any policy. The man, if he didn't come up, he didn't have anything to say. How come he won so well in the primaries? If he didn't have,
even if he didn't say anything, we still win.
The establishment candidates who there's so much anger and anguish and depression and that he would have won if he didn't say anything.
I don't want to.
Felix Fusukwakye.
I don't want to interrupt.
So you said the same things against him, against the government, and you are rejected. This picture that you are painting about how glorious the NDC is and how President Mahama is, you did the same thing in 2020. You were rejected. In opposition, in the run-up to the 2020 election, you did the same thing. You were rejected. You don't get tired of it. Now, Randy, when you look at the economy and the things that have gone on in the economy, you would see.
And kindly be wrapping up.
No problem. You would see that we've gone into a difficulty that is not peculiar to only Ghana. When you look at the data, if you take GDP growth, for example, in 2015, we grew at 4.1. In 2016, your last 2 years, it came down to 3.7%. In 2017, in fact, in the first 3 years of the NPP, 2017 shot up to 7.9, which at that time was considered the highest in the world. In 2018, it was 6.3. 2019, it was 6.51. In 2020, it dipped to 0.5. In 2021, it rose a little bit to 5 point, and this last year 3.3, and this year it's estimated that it will go above the projection. But you can see that in the year 2020, when there was a pandemic, that's what causes the performance to dip. If you look at, and this is just GDP growth, if you look at inflation, it's the same. In 2015, it was 17.15. I'm giving you your last 2 years. In 2016, when you were living, it was about 17.4. In 2017, it dipped, it came down to 12.3.
Yeah, 2016 was what?
17.4.
Not 15 point. 15 point something.
When is that? I'll correct the first.
Well, I'm getting this data from Bank of Ghana.
It's not correct.
Now,
it's not correct.
In 20, so you said it was 15.
Yeah, it's 15 point something.
It was 15.4.
15.4. Okay, what I have is 17.
No, it's not correct.
Okay.
Ken Ofori-Attah's first budget match.
Yes.
2017, he stated
no problem. In 2017, it dipped to 12. Do you have that figure? Inflation.
Yes.
2018, it dipped to 7.8. It came to single digits. 2019, it was still single digit at 7.14. 2020 started rising to 9.8. Then it went up to 50 something in 2022. If you look at, and this is inflation, if you look at all the data, they were positive, and then they became bad during the pandemic years. All the data. So clearly, if you take even the cedi, if you take the value of the cedi in those times, from 2015, 3.8 cedis to the dollar. 2016, 4.12 to the dollar. That's where you left off. 2017, 4.4. 2018, 4. But you see, the inflation figures that you gave is end year.
Yes.
The Bank of Ghana data is trend. But anyway, we'll check it out. It's trend. They don't give.
Yeah, but what is
the average
acceptable use? Yes, I mean,
you
end of year.
You can give the point to point, which is year to end, or you can give the trend, which is an average throughout the year. Now, if you check out the cedi, relatively stable 2016, 2017, 2018. Then it started getting worse during the pandemic years.
But what happened in 2019? In 2019 to the cedi?
2019 it rose to, well, it's been rising from 4.12 in 2016 to 4.4, 4.6, 2019, 5.2. But
I
it went up to
2019. I asked the question about 2019 because in 2019,
which was in the pandemic year.
Yes, the cedi lost about 14%, which is what led your government to constitute a 40-member committee to investigate the depreciation of the cedi and prescribe solutions. This is before pandemic.
Yes. But it got absolutely worse during the pandemic. You'd agree? So I'm saying that you can't have an objective discussion of the economy. And of course, as far as Phyllis is concerned, every economic issue is Bawumia.
Of course.
Let's leave it like that. But you're going to have an objective discussion. You can't ignore the effects of the pandemic and the war that happened in Russia and because you can demonstrate the same effect all over the world, not just Ghana. And last week I was telling you that in the 4.5 years when President Mahama was president, throughout those 4.5 years, the problems that the Ghanaian economy was going through, he attributed all of it to international factors. Between 2012 and 2016. Today, they don't take any account of the international factor. Everything is Bawumia. That's what they are presenting us with. Indeed, when John Mahama goes abroad and he speaks on the economy and the interviews that he gives, CNN and so on, I have all of it here. If you have time, I'll play it. I'll have you play it. He talks about the impact of the COVID pandemic on African economies and on the Ghanaian economy. But when it comes to Ghana, and his collaborators like Phyllis get to him.
He spoke about the Ghanaian economy.
Absolutely.
The impact on the Ghanaian
yes,
economy.
Yes. Okay. You want me to quote him?
What did he say?
Oh, I'll fish out the quote for you shortly. But when he comes here, and I've quoted it for you several times, when he went to Harvard.
I know about the general African economy, but the specific Ghanaian economy.
But the Ghanaian economy is part of the African economy.
No.
And then he speaks specifically about the Ghana. He says that in my own country, and I'll get you that quote, in my own country, this and that and that and that and that. He speaks about it.
But nobody doubts that, I mean,
but when he comes back into Ghana and the MCs get to him, then it's Bawumia. There's nothing about.
Do you understand what you have just said?
Yeah.
That he doesn't have a mind of his own. He only has a mind of his own when he's outside the country. When he comes to Ghana, he speaks the minds of people like Phyllis.
I am giving you, I haven't said he hasn't got the mind. I'm saying that this is what he
I'm just
does.
saying that the implication of what you have just said.
Yeah, but what
is exactly what you were taking Felix on for.
Listen, in the case of Felix, he says that people are being railroaded, imams, religious leaders, to go and visit Bawumia. Yes. It is not their intention, and that they've been paid monies.
And
that's what he's saying.
And what you just said was that.
What I said is that when Mahama goes abroad, he gives a certain picture about the African economy and the Ghanaian economy, and you know that. When he comes here, so let's say he hasn't been influenced by the Felix.
No, he said when he comes, when people like Felix go to tell him something.
Okay, Felix hasn't told him anything. when he comes here, he speaks differently. Why does he speak differently? Why does he say one thing abroad and there's a different thing in Ghana? Now, why does he do that? Is that principle? Is that honesty? You have to be consistent in your message. You can't go abroad and say one thing, paint one picture, and then when you come here, you paint a different picture. Is that principle leadership?
Does it remind you of Ghana Beyond Aid?
What about it?
All our speeches around Ghana Beyond Aid and all that internationally, and what we do in terms of how we run our country.
What about Ghana Beyond Aid? I don't understand.
I'm saying all our narratives about the kind of economy we should run and what we need to be doing.
Yes,
and what we actually do.
Yeah, but that's for Ghana Beyond Aid. Every government that has come into this country since I was a little boy, and I'm sure you're a little boy, they've all said this Ghana Beyond in different words. Remember self-reliance? You remember the commanding heights of the Ghanaian economy? They all said so in different
We are just following
what I want to see is the concrete action that will really let us take. But that's a different debate. So I'm saying that when you go abroad, you say one thing. When you come back into this country, you say a different thing. And in your time when you had a chance to be president for 4.5 years, consistently, the difficulties we were going through, that led us to IMF in 2015. You ascribe all those difficulties to international factors. But now that there are difficulties, severe difficulties, is Baumia.
Okay.
Randy.
I haven't. Okay, you can.
Is it Randy?
We have just 10 minutes.
Yes, so no, I'll use it prudently. He has said many things, but yes, no problem. He has said many things. No problem.
No.
I don't have a problem.
You can come back again.
Oh, but you said we have 10. Split it.
No.
Oh, yes, you've had a very long time.
This is your second bite.
Yeah, I'm not going to have my
so now you are measuring it in bites?
Oh, yes, I understand. Randy, you see.
Or in handshake.
You see, Randy.
So you give him 6, give
Randy,
him 4.
You see, at the risk of sounding immodest.
Yes. I haven't been finished.
Don't worry, I'll come. Don't worry, no problem. We'll be here again another time. So don't worry. You say something.
Randy, continue next week.
No, so we
Randy,
we're doing 6-4.
I made. You see, I made a contribution to the Harvard speech.
To the what speech?
Yeah. So
I have Harvard speech.
Okay.
Harvard speech.
Okay.
So if you push me, I can recite it for you up the top of my head.
But when I was mentioning his name, you said, "Why?"
Oh, let me make my
when
point.
the man comes to
Now the man himself has confessed.
Let me make my point.
That is actually in there.
Yes, no problem.
The speech.
Nana, you said
No
when
problem.
the man speaks outside.
Yes.
The Harvard was outside.
Randy.
But I said when it comes to Ghana,
Randy, you don't mind.
The man has input into the Harvard speech.
So
outside.
Randy, so let me read. Randy, let me read the exact quote in the Harvard speech for you to shatter. And I'm surprised now Gumi Owoyiko is doing this propaganda that his party boys are also doing. I'm surprised. I thought that he would.
What we are doing,
he would dive deeper into the matter. Randy, these are the exact quotations of President Mahama. The pandemic has had a generally deleterious effect on the economy of African nations. What is accepted? Everybody understands that. But some countries have ridden the waves more successfully than others, based on the resilience of their economies.
Is this in the speech?
It's in the speech. Right, I told you I made a contribution to the speech. Discipline and prudent use of their resources in the period of this crisis. In my country, Ghana, our country has emerged in extremely poor shape from the COVID-19 experience. A ballooning deficit, double-digit inflation, a nose-diving currency, increasing debt distress are some of the symptoms of a very ill economy. Ghana's case was easy to predict, with the cavalier handling of the economy by the current administration, unbridled borrowing from the capital markets, and other critical fiscal figures were certain to come to an end eventually. Ghana went into the pandemic without adequate buffers. Yet you create the impression that when he goes outside, he says that everything was well onto COVID's track. I made a contribution to the speech, so I know what I'm talking about. Randy, number 2.
Nana, is this in the speech?
You see?
It's in the speech. I'm telling you. Oh,
Nana, the speech that you reference.
Randy, I just
Where you say, please hold on.
He has not read the speech. Randy, he has not read the speech.
When it goes outside,
he has seen some.
Did you see this in the speech?
Randy,
let me tell you what I saw.
He has not read the speech.
No, did you see this in the speech?
Let me tell you what I saw in the speech.
Yes.
At VOA.
Voice of America.
Yes.
And that's not the
Harvard speech.
But that's the speech I brought.
An interview.
He says that I think that it's a period of adversity for the whole world because it is triggering a kind of global recession as a result of the tensions that have been created. You're speaking on COVID.
But this is not about
So
Ghana.
I'm saying that if you want to talk about the omissions of the government,
yes,
be balanced. Talk about the difficulties created by the international situation, especially when you were president.
Okay, let me make my point now.
Randy asked me a question.
Oh, but you've taken. You've taken 3 minutes.
When you were president for 4.5 years.
Randy. All right. Now I have debunked
when you were
that.
President for 4.5 years.
I have debunked that falsehood.
He has considered. You talked about.
You've given me the answer.
No.
He has not read the speech. Randy, he has not read the speech.
The question
he has not read the speech. He is relying on a daily guide publication. Randy, he has not. No, it's not in the speech.
VOA interviews.
What you read is not in the speech.
I'm talking about the speech.
He has not read the speech. He is relying on a propaganda publication by the daily guide.
Oh, you mean it's not true?
Right? Oh, it's not true. I have read the speech to you.
Yes. The one I read is not true.
It's not true. I've read the speech to you. Listen, there were 3 paragraphs regarding the impact of COVID on the economies and why other countries are doing better than Ghana. He underlined the factors that have led to a collapse. And we all know that you were reckless with the economy. Randy, before COVID struck, as you noted, in 2019, non-pandemic year, the cedi lost almost 14% of its value.
Yes.
Randy, the only time they've shown prudence in economic management was 2017. Even then, they are being charitable because most of the work had been done by the Mahama administration.
Hey.
Yes.
In
2018,
you couldn't do it when you were in office.
Oh, but we did it. That's why 2016 was very stable. Randy, in
2018,
no problem. Hey, people lose elections for all manner of reasons.
That's very normal. As we
2018, you will lose elections because of this economy.
For 2024.
And the economy has always played a role in electoral loss.
Randy, there are those projections.
But in 2018,
you would agree that
the budget deficit, which is the clearest indicator of prudence in economic management, it was 7.5, bigger than what they met in 2016. Budget deficit, 2018 budget deficit, 7.5. 2019 it was 7. In 2020, your finance minister went to parliament in the middle of the year after COVID struck that, the budget I presented in November of the previous year for the 2020 fiscal year, we cannot work with it because COVID has disrupted our flow and revenue projects and all that. So I will do a new one. At the time, you knew that COVID was in full flight. So you made all your plans. You told parliament that your deficit would be 11%. When the year ended, it was 17%. Why? Because even though there was crisis, you hid behind it to be reckless. And one of the examples of your recklessness was that you took public funds and gave it to your party activists across the country. Your Northern Regional Vice Chairman, Phyllis Yatete, who also contested the Saneregu seat, said that she received 100,000 Ghana cedis because she was vice chairperson of the MPP in the North. She got another 70,000 because she was a candidate. Because she was being accused of embezzling those funds given to her from government. Randy, I know for a fact that GCB, for instance, Ghana Commercial Bank, they were given a list of 15,000 MPP functionaries to send them mobile money payments, 4,000, 5,000, 3,000. In AAK, these are COVID funds. Randy, in AAK, I know for a fact that there were MPP executives running around who were receiving these monies. In fact, they even attempted to entice some of our supporters with that kind of money. Hey. If you spend money like this, how do you expect that you will not go into this deficit? So President Mahama was spot on. He identified the underlying cause of the problems. But typical Nana Akufo-Addo propaganda, you cut it short. And they actually have a video where they cut only the first paragraph that I read and leave the rest so that you get the impression that he has gone to Harvard to admit that it is COVID that has affected us. When the next two paragraphs shed light on his true position on why we are here. Randy, after that, as for the economy, perhaps I don't even need to go into it because it is clear.
So
but let me make the point.
He talks about both.
But even in Ghana, he has spoken about both.
No. In Ghana, it's Bawumia. No.
Of course, it is Bawumia. Yeah. Bawumia was the one who told us he was in charge of the economy. No, wait. Bawumia was the one under whose auspices the city lost 13% in 2019. He was the one who in 2018 supervised the budget deficit of 7.5. He was the one who in 2019 supervised the 7% budget. He was the one under whom in 2020 monies were sent to Vilisiasete and Co. and we got a 17% deficit. So as for culpability, he bears it. Randy, let me debunk this.
Now, if somebody bears culpability as vice president,
of course, because he's head of the economy.
How about somebody who was president?
Of course, so he bears responsibility. And I've said it here before. Unlike you who ran away, he will never run away.
Run away.
Like Bawumia has not run away. 1 year. He has
so if somebody bears responsibility as vice president
for 1 year,
how about somebody who?
Of course, he bears responsibility.
Who bears the greater responsibility?
Randy. So Mahama bears responsibility. Bawumia too should bear his own and stop running away and hiding in the rat hole. Randy, the other point. Randy.
Is Bawumia hiding?
DDEP, he has never spoken about it. He has never spoken about E-levy. That is hiding in plain sight. Randy, let me debunk this falsehood that President Mahama was doing ethnocentric politics in 2016. Look, I'm going to quote him. Viewers, no problem. Viewers can just Google.
Let me send you the video.
Viewers can Google.
No, I'll send you the video.
21st November 2016, when President Mahama went up north. In fact, President Mahama was responding to claims that Bawumia had made. Bawumia had said that people of the north should not sit down and say that President Mahama is a northerner, so they should retain him if he is not doing well. So it was in response to that President Mahama threw that jab. But at that same function, this is what President Mahama said: vote for me, not because I am from the north, but because I can do the job. It's there. Peace FM Online, 21st November 2016. Randy, the other issue.
Now, isn't the same thing that Bawumia is saying?
Yeah, so why are you accusing him of, what do you call it? President Mahama of practicing ethnocentric policy? But in your case,
you accuse Bawumia.
I am accusing all of you. And in fact, you are part of the people. You have advised him to go that tangent. Because in the entire run-up to his election as flag bearer, that's all you've been saying. That, in fact, Randy, let me tell you something. With me, I have great respect for religious rights. People have a right to subscribe to
your
religion
6 minutes is up
and make any decision. But you see, when you have a situation where overnight,
let me finish.
Somebody who is a Muslim, he is known to be a Muslim. The Islamic religion is one of the most respected religions in the world. It has over 1 billion followers. The Hajj is one of the most significant global events every year. So being a Muslim is a recognized position. So if you are a vice president and you are a Muslim, I would even argue that it is a major boost for you as an individual. You don't need to go and somersault in church just to carry favor with Christians for votes. Why? President Obama was Christian, and yet check our performance. President Rawlings was Christian, President Tamils was Christian, President Obama Christian. But check our performance in Islamic communities. It is because of the work we have done as a party. Randy, it was President Obama
your 6 minutes is
who sanitized the Hajj pilgrimage. You remember that in the past, especially under President Kufuor. Randy, under President Kufuor, when ICQ and Co were in charge of Hajj, it was a mess. Now it was President Mama who came to sanitize it. He was the one who ensured that for the first time in our history,
Randy,
people could move from the northern part of the country and go straight to Hajj.
He did.
You understand?
Yeah.
Baumia, he was a Muslim. Now, yet when hijab, Muslim ladies were being harassed over hijab, he kept quiet.
So he's a prostitute.
I will say so.
That's what your collaborators are saying.
Randy. Your time is up. Let me speak. The final point I want to make is this.
We're talking for 6
Randy, it is this claim. Randy, this claim that we shut the media space during the 2020 elections. Randy, 2000.
Yeah.
And I made the point that at least between 96 and 2000, I used to watch him on Talking Point. I used to watch him too. Yababia Samwa used to be the host of Talking Point. 3 key MPP people used to hold that program. Randy, why?
I was an MPP when I was.
You were. So when did you become MPP? When did you become? Is it not like this is like contest for MPP? So you were sitting your somewhere they came to approach you to go and contest. Please, Randy. You remember Eva Loko and the political off-season?
Yes.
Where she prevented NDC when she was in charge of GBC under President Kufuor from making a representation on something I wanted to speak. So as for that, I don't think it's an issue. But the point really must be made, Randy.
Oh, you said this is your last point.
Yes, the point must be made, Randy. That look, Baumia's campaign will suffer. That no religious thing is not going to fly. And I have not insulted him when I speak about tokenism. Look, if you are a party, okay, and it has to take 70 years, Randy, 7 decades for somebody outside of one ethnic group to lead your party, then you have a problem. It will not be resolved by that. You have to internally reform. We in the NDC.
So Randy, what is the question that I'm asking?
We in the NDC have had a Muslim vice running.
Now the question that I'm asking you,
but the reason why it's not a problem, and we do well in Islamic communities, is that they see that we are naturally inclusive. So we don't have to do anything more.
In just a minute.
To prove it.
I'm saying when you go by Felix's own reason, somebody will ask you, how come that your party, you've never had a Muslim flag bearer? And would that be the debate?
We don't have to prove ourselves again because we have shown them inclusivity.
In your case, you don't have to prove.
But you have it all to do.
Look, Randy, this business about
it's only a matter of time.
It says COVID funds. The World Bank and the IMF, who give the COVID funding, they've given the use of those funding a clean bill of health.
The Auditor General has given a clean bill of health. Have you read the Auditor General's report into COVID funds?
The Auditor General, if the Auditor General,
and have you seen the Auditor General's report into COVID funds?
Is it possible I can speak small?
No, you can't speak. While I was speaking, you interrupted me.
I did because you
now you don't unless you come. I'll bring the report.
These people.
And I'll bring the Auditor General's report next year, next week.
So you said somebody took 100,000 COVID funds. The person herself has admitted.
Yes.
And you are not doing anything about it.
Because
you heard. I'm not saying you. You heard the Public Accounts Committee, Parliament, who receives the Auditor General's report.
Yes, but they've not got
somebody
into that.
has come out.
They've not got into that yet. They've not got into
that person.
Randy, do you know if they've looked? They've not looked at that. Exactly. There are so many reports.
The PAC is here to get.
What you are advocating is untenable.
But this is about 1 year ago.
Yeah, but you know how they.
I'm saying you know that you heard the PAC.
So I should go and arrest Mr.
I'm not saying you, fellas.
What are you asking?
I'm not saying you, MC.
The NDC.
I'm saying yes.
DJ Akomia, the NDC is going to arrest Mr. Tete. Is that what you're suggesting?
You know you're not being fair. You are just.
But you are fair to me.
Now you heard the Public Accounts Committee. So if somebody has come out to admit that they received funds, and you are saying that it's illegal, why are you sitting down looking at it? But officially, the people who give the money, they've come out with a clean bill of health. Now it's talking about 100,000 being taken by somebody. Look, these people, they went and took loan in the name of you and me. And then they took a large chunk of that money to conduct research on their party's chances. And they are still sitting here, pointing fingers at other people.
No, Randy, what did Nana Kumia say?
What have you done
about it? Randy, so what did Nana Kumia say that we in the
agency
should go and arrest?
It's a shame.
We should go and arrest. The opposition should go and arrest.
I agree that it's a shame that we haven't done anything about it. But we should do something about it.
Okay. The people themselves he needs an award for. He needs an award for.
The people themselves, the people themselves confessed that when the monies came, we took so much of it to conduct research. That thing should be
7 years
which one?
In power.
Which one?
Randy, which one? The Public Accounts Committee.
Which one? The NMS one.
What is it talking about? I don't know which one is saying.
The NMS, is that what you're talking about? So research.
Yes.
Is that it is a lie. Randy, it is a lie.
The man who said it is lying. You want me to?
Is it Randy? If you want can you spare me 2 minutes?
Because it's made that allegation.
Good, Randy. Let me tell you something else. You see, I happen to know exactly what happened.
So the man is lying.
Oh,
which man?
But you have made an
allegation.
Who made the allegation? Who made the allegation? Who made the allegation?
The name will come.
But people make allegations all the time.
Randy. You see,
but he is quoting allegations by somebody.
Then I have a problem.
Yeah.
If a government is in power, has been in power for 7 years. And we are told that a previous government, there's an allegation that
it is not true. That's why they're not doing anything about it.
State funds for something else.
Yeah.
And for 7 years.
I agree with you that something has
Randy,
to be done about
it is not true. That's why he is unable to. They are unable to do anything about it. But if you give me 2 minutes, I will explain.
Okay, explain.
Look,
the man is lying.
Let's take it to next week.
Okay, no problem.
I'm going to bring you the quotation.
There is one of the presidential aspirants is very upset with the Daily Graphic and Ghanaian Times.
Who's that?
So if you look at yesterday's edition of Daily Graphic, that's it. It says 3 aspirants lace up boots. Economic issues key decide analysts.
So who is that?
Today's Ghanaian Times. Race for Jubilee House. GMV balance 4 voters with choice. That's election 2024. Okay.
So somebody's name is not there.
Is it Kofi Apalo?
No. Please find attached the Graphic and Times biased publications against other political
You should go to NMC.
APC. It's also among the race.
You should draft an immediate petition.
The visibility of the National Ayariga is all over. Ghanaians are looking for a third force to join. So let's give them that opportunity. Kindly read out for our viewers. Thank you, Doc.
So let me send.
And he says that you
greetings.
Guys, you mentioned my name more than even what you are talking about. I'm more popular than Kudus.
Let me say good morning to Nana Asante Atakra. He is our communications officer in AAK and an avid viewer.
Nana Asante Atakra.
Yes. Nana Kwesi Asante Atakra.
So today's the birthday of
yes. Don't campaign for him.
Two very good friends of mine, Sariki Samari, popularly known as Cyborg, in Newtown. Today's your birthday, so happy birthday to you, Cyborg, Sariki Samari. And also Agbashi Crow of Osu. Today is your birthday, Agbashi Crow of Osu. Happy birthday to you from Nico and the Adam family crew. So happy birthday, Cyborg and Agbashi Crow. All right, so gentlemen, thanks for joining me. Up next, GMG Trends.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She is pleased, but now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains that he hired a security goat to protect the data shed. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't upgraded to cloud storage yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky chicky whiter, chicky chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel Kids, happy smile.
Hello Ghana, KNUSC ISWAM, Republic Welfare Limited, a subsidiary of Republic Bank Ghana, presents Women in Business Conference. Are you a young woman entrepreneur with a small business or medium-scale business? You can't miss this amazing program coming up at Cafe Banua Jowulua Crown on the 30th of November 2023, 9 a.m. sharp. Learn about loan financing, access to loans. All these benefits await you. Don't miss this amazing opportunities. Investment is a cool 1,000 Ghana cedis. Harvest all course materials, coffee break, lunch, networking. See you there.
ECG is now cashless. My studio lights are always on. I never run out of power. With the ECG Power app, I'm able to report an issue, check my credit, buy power, all in real time whenever I need to. I don't worry if ECG vendors are closed. In the comfort of wherever I may be, I still keep my lights on thanks to the ECG Power app. You can simply use mobile money wallets, Visa or MasterCard. It does not attract e-levy. With the ECG Power app, you're totally covered. To download, go to the App Store or the Google Play Store. You don't have a smartphone? Don't worry. No internet? Don't worry. No data? Do not worry. Just dial *226#. This is what I call convenience in your hands. ECG Power app. A yes, simple pa.
My son, there's more blessing in giving than receiving. When you fear for you and cover the makers in Sranu Deuro.
The pneumatological abrasion of the Lord revealeth unto me this night that me and my household should go out into the world and bless the world.
Makers Electronics Company Limited. Up to 67% discount. Our selected appliances.
This is what I call quintessential immaculatability.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited. Taifa Burkina Highway. Amasama Zongo Junction. At the K Pharmacy Dining. Oyer Fateman Boga Junction. Ashaman Valco Flat. Kumasi. Ahinema Kokobin. Asafu Bwache Hospital Junction. Sakwadi. Number 9 Market.
Tell mom and dad about the Makers Blessing Attack program.
From 0552 222 253 and 0552 222 254. Terms and conditions apply. The same
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Time to check out what is trending on social media. Let's see. What's going on?
Doc, we thank God for today. Today is Friday. So we have Black Stars trending and Napo is trending.
Huh?
Napo.
The minister?
Yes, the minister.
For what?
What's in the picture? What about Bunting?
It's not about the spillage.
No.
Okay.
It's a picture where it looks like it's like a small wedding thing, and people are talking about it. Yeah.
That he's going to marry.
Yes.
So what?
People don't want to talk about that.
Anyway.
So it's in the trends this morning. And also, Konfanochi Teaching Hospital has been trending since yesterday because a video has popped up on social media, Doc, where it shows how rotten the hospital has become.
Rotten?
Yes. In terms of infrastructure.
The structure?
Yeah, the structure itself.
Dilapidated.
Dilapidated. Very, 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 very bad. So a lot of people have been talking about that on social media, and also the Black Stars, of course. The coach has named his squad for the upcoming games. A lot of talks about that also. So really, those are some of the things trending on social media this morning. Doc, so the Black Stars, we are going. We have.
Yes, I've seen a 25-man squad.
I don't know what. Fatal, he's excused himself from the team.
Which Fatal? Isahako?
Isahako.
No, I've not heard that.
Okay.
I think maybe the coach didn't. He's a coach who's not invited him for the game.
Yeah.
Maybe he's giving the sports to others.
Okay. All right. So that is it about the Black Stars. People commenting about that he's made the changes at centre back. That's probably the key. He obviously really is unhappy defensively, and he's made changes. Odoi also good defensive right back. Heavily altered the defense. Sensible stuff. Okay. So that's for Oscar. But let's go back to the K. Konfanochi, quick one, if we could do that. Really, let me just show Doc some bits of the video as it was. Shown on social media, lots of people talking about it. So that's it. That's the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, and some bits of the hospital has been shown. As we saw on social media, lots of people talking about it. Anyway, so that's close though. Yeah. Some videos from the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, and it was like a 2-minute video that the person made, and yeah.
Are those maggots?
Everything. Really, really sad, and do apologize to viewers, but I mean that's how bad it has become at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, and so so that's it. That's it for the.
And I'm told that I've seen something. Just go back to the video. There is an inscription which suggests that it was completed in 2021.
Yeah.
Can you show that slide? There's a part
as
where you see a paper that is written completed 2021.
Yeah.
Is it to suggest that that particular place was completed in 2021 and in 2 years this is what has happened?
Yes. Let's see that as it comes in the video.
This one. This one.
2021 completed.
Yes. So is it to suggest that that part
of the hospital,
yes, was completed in 2021, and in 2 years this is what has happened?
I may not be able to confirm that, but looking at this 2021 completed, it may look likely like that. And so
I see.
It's a trending thing, and of course on our bulletin we'll be looking at that extensively, the extent of this dilapidation of the edifice. I
think maybe Editor Bright must commission the news team to perhaps go around all our public health facilities and look at what's happening.
Anyway, that's it for the trends today. Have a great weekend.
So stay a healthy life and pray to God that you don't fall sick. Because you don't even know when a unit can be closed. Over 4 million cities. I mean, 19 people died.
19 people just passed on like that. Anyway, Doc. So
we're thinking about elections. Clear and present danger. Things that we need to do today. Today.
No.
We can allow 19 people to die over 4 million cities. And what we are thinking about is how to win an election.
And put down La General Hospital.
Anyway.
For no.
Yeah, but the La General Hospital, some of the arguments that are made about the pulling down was that there are structural defects which led to the Paulina.
Yeah,
if we were to go by that, almost every public building must go down.
White House coming to 2.
Anyway. So,
anyway.
Let me leave you.
No, yeah. So that's it.
A school that I'm associated with by relationships and everything, Pando Secondary School.
Pansec. Oh, okay.
Yes, they're 70.
They're 70.
They're 70
Yeah,
years
when
old.
you know.
So tomorrow is the main action.
Action.
At Pando.
So you'll be there.
Of course.
And I guess.
I'm not a guest speaker.
Oh, you're just going to.
I was guest speaker at Accra Academy speech.
Oh, okay.
But my friend and brother, the executive chairman of First Sky Group, Mr. Renko Toche, he is the guest speaker.
He's the guest speaker.
But there's a tall list of, I think the Minister of Education is a special guest.
Yes, okay.
The chairman for the occasion is Popo Wokwe. Togbe Dagadu, the Nice.
Okay.
That's the paramount chief of Pando. He is the chairman. Of course, he speaks so well. You should listen to him.
And then there's
And then you have an array of, you have Justice Jones Doche.
Okay.
He's coming.
Yeah. Doche.
Yes, Justice Doche is coming. Justice Honyenuga
Hey.
is coming. Professor Avoka is coming. Honorable Amenowode is coming.
Professor
Professor
Avoka.
Binka is coming. Yes.
Or EW.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
They are all coming.
Okay, that's a big one.
Oh, big.
Oh, dog, I mean, this
In
one.
fact, I will be in a Pasek shirt.
Hey, that's why they had to follow you.
Where all students by association.
By association. So by that association, I am an anchorite, Temasco.
So all roads lead to. In fact, it started from last Monday.
Last Monday.
So this is just
It's a
like the
week-long
climax.
thing.
This weekend is the
Yeah.
climax. Yeah.
But Mano to go view Bobo Boyntons. I
Serious.
will go watch.
If
You
I
know,
go
they
watch.
said before there was this, there was this thing.
Eh?
Before there was this, there was the
Up
other
next
one.
Metro Sports.